Hey, what's up, First Smoke family? Today we got a super funny episode for you guys today. CJ and J Humboldt from the Black Market Vikings. Make sure you like the video, comment below who should we have on the podcast next, who do you guys want to hear from. Also, make sure you go to the website, firstsmokeoftheday.com, go up to the sponsors tabs on the top of the page and check out all the coupon codes from all our sponsors. Dr. Dabber, Raw, Grow Generation, and much more. Blackleaf's going to fill you in on the rest of the site. Let's go.
Like Pack said, you get linked up with Grow Generation, Drip, Faven, Dr. Dabber, Raw. All you got to do is go to fsotd.com, get the newest discount codes, and utilize to get hooked up. Let's get into some of this seafood.
Well, I grew up in Humboldt. As a kid, I remember, my mom's boyfriend cooked dope and sold dope. They grew and sold weed. Started selling a lot of drugs. Where we lived is a super booming spot for a long time. But that one particular town was an epicenter of illegal activity. I ended up fucking meditating once in jail, and that skit came in my head. The way I envisioned it, I knew at some point this skit was gonna blow up. I was thinking about quitting. Maybe I was wrong in my manifestations. Called this fool and my homie, I need you guys to come to the park right fucking now. We just need to film this one skit. In the first hour, I was like, damn, okay, 40,000 views. 27 million in the first 5 days. The cannabis industry there's never a good or a bad time to come in. You just have to have some quality shit, which I believe this shit's smoking. Without this weed, I'm just a fucking geek piece of shit with no life and not interesting at all. And the reality of it is, it's not even about money. The shit is kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, what's good, everybody? It's First Smoke of the Day. It's your boy Packgods here in the building. My co-host is always Blackleaf.
I'm smoking out the seafood section today.
And today we got some of Eureka's finest on here, the Black Market Vikings, my man CJ and Jay.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
What up? Thank you for having us, fellas.
Appreciate you guys coming down here all the way from Humboldt.
Just a heads up, like I told you earlier, I stopped smoking weed for 90 days. This is the first. So if I get a little inebriated and start spacing off, talking about weird shit, stop me dead in my tracks.
That reminds me of conspiracy.
Keep me around.
Let me stop him right now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's get into flat earth and all that,
Get into it right now. Let's get out of the way. No, but thank you for having me, fellas. Pretty proud here of what you've been able to accomplish so far with your shit. I kind of watched you build it from the ground up because my boy Jason from out your guys' way, he was in the feds for fraud for a while, but he was coming out fucking with me, and he told me about you, I think episode maybe 2 or 3. Damn. And I watched you from the beginning go, to now the gold standard of cannabis media. So first and foremost, proud of you guys for that. Thank you for having us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Appreciate
man.
you.
We've been fans of yours for it seems like years at this point.
Since the beginning.
Yeah. It really goes both ways. He put me on to you originally. Pac was like, you got to see this. And he's sending me stuff. And then it was like, oh, yeah, we got to do something.
It's crazy how things happen organically, though, if you let them, because you used to be at the trap house on Humboldt Hill. Yep. With the hippie dude, rest in peace. But when I bumped into him, and he's like, "Yo, I used to be at Papa Smurf's house." I'm like, damn,
I had to let him know.
This fool really been in the fucking hood.
For real, then.
He's really been in our section trapping, to even be, and I
didn't even know that name.
That was super organic, just even the way I found out about you guys.
You caught me. This is the craziest fucking story. Is great. I'm done working for the day. We're staying at the Kimpton in Sacramento. I just rolled into town. It's probably 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, man, I have to work out. And I go in there to the gym, working out. Next thing I know, on the window, and it's this motherfucker. And he's like, I'll be right back. And he puts on workout clothes and comes and works out with me at 10, 11 o'clock at Sacramento at the Kimpton Hotel. I was like, yo, that's meant to be right there.
No,
Holy
crazy
shit. That was nuts.
When I be out of town, I don't like to get a room. I'm just fucking weird, but I have a minivan. Or I find a lonely chick to fucking shack with. He's
not
sometimes
joking.
just friends, family, whoever, but preferably usually a lonely chick who's desperate enough to spend the night with me. And I went, and my business partner, she's like, I'm going to get you a hotel room. What the, you can't be fucking nomading around in your van. This is fucking ridiculous. You're down there on business. I'm like, all right, fine, fucking get me a room. So she got me a room there. And that place is sick.
Yeah, it's nice.
I'm scum. I'm over at the Holiday Inn by the airport usually. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is sick. Who's the basketball player I seen the next day? Chris Paul. Yeah. He was in the gym the next morning.
The Kings. That's their official hotel for anyone that's playing them. They stay at that Kimpton.
Yeah, so he was in the gym. I went back early in the morning because I couldn't sleep, and he was down there stretching with his trainer and shit. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I bumped into you, super organic. Like, you have to let things happen organically and let them live their selves out, because the future of something longevity wise is always better that way, especially with content creation and being creative, shit like that. You know what I mean?
No, when I first, because I actually know the one homie that's in a lot of your content. I actually know him.
Which one?
I think his name's Ryan.
Yeah, little Ryan.
I know
he was
Ryan.
with us in the beginning.
Yeah. So when I started seeing him and shit, I was like, oh shit. And I started piecing it all together. But it's always been funny to me because it's humor only a select audience can understand.
Yeah, I think that
you guys do more general shit now too. But overall, in the beginning, it was like, it was pretty heady to where if you come from those parts, it's hilarious.
It was like a very small microscopic audience that would like understand a lot of it.
Yeah.
But also too, I think in the early stages, like just going for that one like lane, you know what I'm saying? What we know, our natural, just everyday life, it caused a lot of curiosity with new people, because as the vibe of cannabis was like super growing in that moment when we first started. So it kind of like allowed new people to come in like, damn, this shit is kind of like, we might say something inappropriate, like, damn, that shit is kind of funny, but I really don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? So then it gets where it was just enough where it was able to like blossom out of that. Because in the beginning, there was people like telling us like, oh, it's funny, but it'll never make it out of here because of that one particular part of it. Was like such a small group of people would understand what we were saying. But that was something I feel like we just naturally had to bounce out of, like, because not only cannabis things are going to go through your head when you're being creative. So like, there's like, we have like probably fucking 7,600 skits written we haven't made yet. Because I might write 60 in a day of all hilarious shit. And then sometimes you'll just pick and choose. Like sometimes we'll think of something and it's so funny to us in the moment, we have to make it right there and post it. So that's what's happening in the earlier stages. Like random shit would happen with a buyer or in the trap or just the way we were moving around, and we'd have to make it right then. You know what I'm saying? Or we would say something that would have us busting up, so we would just immediately recreate it right then. Probably because we were hungrier in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Which we haven't lost the hunger. Now we just want to do it on a good camera and get paid for it first, which is the only thing that's changed, you know what I mean? Because we got paid a little bit in the beginning, and then that was cool until like, not going to take any blame here, but probably me fucked off a lot of the bread.
Not going to take any blame here.
The funds dried up. We had no explanation of where they went.
Had a little accounting problem, boys.
Only one person had access to it.
The funds are drying up, boys.
I'm set one up for you. I'm like,
I just talked to the treasurer and
just called belly up again.
Hey, what happened?
We just got to work harder.
Act like you don't remember. You were there. That's why that fucking So anyways, it was cool to like go viral because a lot of the most viral videos that we have are not cannabis.
Yeah, exactly.
So in the beginning,
which makes sense because they flag it and make sure that doesn't get pushed out.
But the one, I think so, That Weed Was Trash skit is obviously our most viewed piece of content and probably one of the funniest to make. I ended up fucking meditating once in jail. That's a different story. I was in jail and I meditated for like 14 hours and that skit came in my head. And it was like kind of like the way I envisioned it. I knew at some point this skit was going to blow up. So we filmed all types of shit before I made it. It wasn't like early when I made it, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, it was such a small group of people who were understanding what we were doing in the beginning. I started getting frustrated because it wasn't in your head. You're like, I'm going to blow up. You're telling yourself that every day. I'm going all the way. We're going to make fucking millions of dollars. Somebody's either getting sacrificed or fucked in this motherfucker. We're signing the contract. Make your choice. I can sacrifice you or you can get fucked. I can go in there, we can get fucked together and get this goddamn money, goddammit. We're talking 20 million here. Okay? I will hire assassins to kill anyone who makes fun of us. But I was like, that's what you tell yourself in the beginning. And I got pissed one day and I was like, damn, which is crazy because it's such a weak thing to even admit. But I was thinking about quitting. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I was wrong in my manifestations. So I fucking took out this little book of skits I wrote when I was locked up, went straight to That Weed Is Trash, memorized it, called this fool and my homie, it's my homie's son, actually. And I'm like, I need you guys to come to the park right fucking now. Like, we just need to film this one skit. And we hit it like in 2 tries. And fucking I posted it. And that was the first time something got like, 45,000 views.
Did you know right away? Like right away it caught wind, or did it kind of
posted it? I'd already watched it all happen in my head.
Wow.
So like I knew that this skit was the one that was gonna do what I wanted. Like I wanted a certain reaction. I'm like, I wanna like share this shit with the world, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't getting it. So I just pulled that out the bag and was like, all right, bitch. Like it's now or never. I'm dropping this shit right now, and either my manifestations are real or I'm fucking nuts and need medication again. You know what I mean? I fucking snuck out of the goddamn crazy house, woke up in a dumpster in Utah again, and all this is a fucking dream, and it's stupid. I've been dressed up like a bitch, playing characters on camera for no reason. Yeah. You know what I mean? Either this works or it doesn't. But then it, like in the first hour, I was like, damn, okay, 40,000 views. And then
we're like crazy on Facebook even.
Yeah,
we don't even have that
so
platform.
like Baby Bash posted it on his Facebook, and it got 27,000 or something like 27 million in the first like 5 days.
Wow.
Warren Sapp. I mean, dude, there was like the first 7 days of that skit, I got posted by like every fucking rap page, World Star, fucking every celebrity you can think of, bro. Like it just went crazy. So I knew, I was like, oh shit, it's on. And then when you see other people on the internet, you see like the motherfucking hide your wife, hide your kids.
Yeah.
This guy made 700 fucking grand. I mean, so I'm like, oh fuck, we're in it to win it, right? Just fucking. At that point, I don't think we had a YouTube channel. Didn't even have a YouTube. Never even thought of that. Not till later. But I'm like, oh, we're gonna make money off. So it did start. Like people would pay for skits, people would pay for like a quick post, you know. So we started getting real money and momentum off that skit. But I thought maybe like this will end soon because I thought this was it, but it seems like it's not. So damn, it's gonna end soon. But that shit still goes viral every day. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think of a view in the form of a stream, like if somebody had a record deal. Like I done streamed a lot more than them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm averaging, you know, like all my cop skits, they're not even weed related usually, but that one weed skit will be solidified as probably some of the top weed content ever created. When there's other people who have songs that'll obviously, music's much more powerful of an animal than social media. But I think I knocked them out the park with that one. I was like, all right, this is worth it to me to keep going because in the reality of it is it's not even about money. The shit is kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we're fucking standing in a park dressed up in medieval characters, fucking repeating lines. A group of people walk by and they're like, what the fuck? It's like, holy shit. These are fucking, we're saying the most inappropriate, dog has never bashed the horse. We're saying like the craziest shit. They're like, like I told you before, one time we had the fucking cop outfits on. And we were like in the gas station getting waters, but I'm talking to my boy who's in the car and I'm trying to get him to remember his lines. We've been filming all day. It's like a little movie we made. But I'm in the gas station like, no, man, you throw him through the fucking window, then you shoot him. Man, I'm gonna be out there right now. Just be ready when I get ready to do this. I got my little vest shit on and shit. So they called 5-0 and we're like, 5-0 people like that. You guys were filming or like, we didn't know what's going on. I'm like, no, we were filming. They understood because they've been seeing us. Sometimes we film just like blatantly right in public. That's why I personally would think anybody, if you want to make content, like don't make an excuse about equipment, because I did that before. Like your phone is enough. You know what I'm saying? You could do everything on this motherfucker. You can make whole movies on this shit. So like I think a lot of people that have some ideas, because a lot of us are fucking hilarious. See, when we hang out, we're fucking dying. I think the best part about that is just start putting down some of the shit that happens naturally, dialoguing it or whatever, and then just use your phone. Because I feel like if someone I don't have a cameraman, that's why I don't want to do this.
I think it all comes down to fear, though. Because like you said, it's an excuse at the end of the day.
It is.
Because people do make videos with not even them being themselves on it. You know what I mean? Like you can do anything. At this
I think that's the first thing you tell yourself, though, because that's what happened to me. I was like, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that.
Yeah, it's a good hurdle.
That's the first thing that you're going to tell yourself when you're getting ready to.
What advice do you have for people that know they need to make content, but they're scared? Like fear's holding them back.
Look, that's crazy because
fear of judgment, it typically is.
Sometimes, sometimes we'll make a skit, right? And when we push post, I mean, it's, if you've seen our shit, we say some fuck shit online, dog. We'll push post it, and both just sit there by our phones. You know what I mean?
No, the baby mom was about to call.
Like, damn, you put the fatbitches.com one on Facebook? Like, did you have to Facebook it? And then I'll have days where I'm like, ooh, when I pull up to the after school program to get the kids, I swear I hope no teachers are there. I don't have to see nobody. I'm just going to call from outside and have them sent out because that one was a banger. I am fucking ashamed to go in public. But I mean, if you're getting to a point you want to create something, no matter what it is, the most important part is that like you are having fun doing it. Like they got dudes sitting in their basements, make beats for 20 years, never release them anywhere because they just like going down there vibing to the sound of their own creation, right? So it's no different. But the first things first is if you're having trouble worried about what people are going to think, maybe you should humiliation act yourself. Go in a fucking middle of a shopping mall, just shit your pants. And just stand there for fucking 20 minutes.
This is the advice you get.
Humiliate yourself.
What's somebody gonna say
fucking
anyway?
head for a week. Go to Planet Fitness and perv out on people.
These days, no one's gonna say shit anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, in LA, it'd be a normal day. It's a Friday.
What?
Yeah, people were talking about
That's all you got.
So like, if you're scared and worried about what people thinking or about what you're gonna do, then fuck it. Just do it and then watch it yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just do it and watch it yourself for a week. And then if that doesn't work, humiliate yourself.
Damn, bro, you got a dab everywhere we go? It's discreet, it's portable, nobody knows. DrDabber.com. Use the code, get your access now.
That doesn't work. You got to shit your pants.
You gotta
Shit your pants in the middle of the
Fucking Target.
Yes.
And
Or
stand
there for
streak or
20
something
minutes.
in the middle of the,
I mean, dude, your mullet makes sense, right? When I cut in mine, I had my barber shape a line
the
like
mullet
this.
into this
So I was
shit.
like RoboCop. So I was like balled up here, like when he got out the mask and shit, he was all fucked up. One of those, dog. When I brought my mullet into the game, this shit was not fashionable. It wasn't cool for an old fuck to have one. Right. But I had to humiliate myself. I was like, yo, I'm not going to be out here worried about what people think. So let me just shave in this fucking mullet.
also,
Let these man tits do what they're going to do. You know what I mean? Eat nothing but red meat for a year.
There was no barbers for a while too when you were doing that. It was during COVID. Like people weren't growing mullets because it was cool. They couldn't get a fucking haircut during COVID.
But yeah, so you might, if you're worried about making creations or creating something and maybe what people will think, or you're just scared. Another thing too, though, is weird is maybe sometimes people would be nervous to see what they look like on camera, like they watch a playback and they're uncomfortable watching themselves on camera.
Yeah, that's common.
That's very normal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And
we've done stuff where I get hella self-conscious and I'm like, man, I get down on just how I look on camera. And I'm like, man, there ain't nothing you can do about that except for lose weight and get fucking handle some shit.
telling your guests to stop bringing these small ass shirts. Like, you fucker.
Even a person who's
I'm like, I need to sit sideways. I'm gonna sit in the corner back here.
measuring his neck. Still got three.
I'm like, man, been dryer one too many times.
How many necks do I have today?
That's right.
No, it's always the thumbnail. They get him, he's the boss, so they got him like looking prestigious and shit. And then I'm over there like, and I'm like, man, this is the fourth thumbnail they've given me a fucking whack, crazy.
First smoke of the day. This is my Packgod and the retarded fuck that helps you.
Bro, it's like, what the fuck?
Shows you in the parking lot.
I have to be like, bro, I was there when you were hired too, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Yeah, he's like, this guy bangs a little bit of juice, grows a mullet, and all of a sudden I'm a piece of shit. He's done 8 vacations. When you pay for one, you didn't even get to go
I'm just trying, bro.
He's doing excuses now. Oh, bad for the viewers. There's a little stuff obviously at first smoke about some vacations being taken.
Holy shit. Juggling. Were you ever in the beginning self-conscious, like embarrassed to do it out in public? Or was it just like, man, I enjoy this, let's just do something? Like, what was it?
We're home in the hood, so
yeah, we're like,
but even then, though, you got people watching.
He didn't give a shit. Now he's put girls' underwear and shit on it that filmed it.
Yeah, I had my stepdad hold a pair of panties over my head so I could pretend I was getting railed and dry heaving from getting railed and squeezing harder and making giggles in a joke.
Yeah.
And my stepdad didn't look me in the eye for like a month. That's nothing.
That's hilarious.
People don't know me. When you have your 74-year-old stepdad holding panties on your head so you pretend you're getting fucked, that hurts. Okay? Sometimes when you're wearing a wig, dropping off the kids real quick because you're on the way to film and they think you're a tranny. You know, your kids are like fucking 5. They're like, is my dad trans? Why is he dressed up like a bitch right now to drop me off? Because I'm in the middle of filming. I had to stop what I'm doing, take him over there. But no, where we do it most of the time, everybody knows us right there. But it will get weird sometimes because there's people who genuinely like are they're not trying to be rude on purpose, but they're curious about your filming. Right. So they want to stop you in the middle of it and ask, what are you guys doing here? Right. Or they want to get in the shot and wave and shit, you know? And it's like, you know, God bless them. Sometimes we'll just pack it up and move somewhere else before we let them get the shit beat out of them. I'm freaking out, dressed up like a bitch, knock some fool out outside his house or something stupid. But no, usually if that happens, we just pack it up, go to the next spot, try to stay in alleys and shit. Another thing too, though, with the phone, when you use a phone, it's much easier to do it because people are always recording things with their phone. In public, in the beginning, a cameraman makes sense. And like I had a cameraman for some of our earlier content. He was a really cool dude. It's just like he's like pretty Christian, like pretty square dude. So it was a lot for him to take in. Not just the content, but like we're filming, dog, in the middle of doing shit and it's getting wild, like, you know, and then we'd warm up on him. So sometimes like some of our older shit, dog, it's just like us going freestyle for a minute at a time. We don't know what we're gonna say. We just haven't turned the camera. But to warm up, sometimes we would just have like fucking 45-minute long roast sessions on him. Like, he would literally be in the corner trying to unput the camera, put the camera back over to ignore us, and like teary-eyed, like suicidal. And we'd make songs about him, come up with all types of scenarios. It was bad. We'd thrash this fool before we show. Yeah, we'd warm up on it. He was a verbal punching bag. Yeah. So after about 8 skits, he tapped out. Yeah.
Gotta do it.
Yeah, he's like, my covenant said this isn't right. They seen some of your content. Like, your covenant? What the fuck?
Yeah. Church like pulled him aside.
You weren't supposed to let the church see none of this.
Man. No. Yeah. There was a dude that was in a couple skits with us. He was our boy. He wasn't like necessarily like a cast member. He was our boy. He filmed. So the cameraman filmed him in like 3 skits, right? And then like a couple months later, this fool gets busted for murder, like one of our homies. And he's in the paper for murder, allegedly, you know. But he ended up being convicted of it, actually.
So it's not allegedly.
Guilty in a court of law.
But he did it.
So he filmed 3 skits in a row with this dude. Then he looks on the paper. It's our homie that he just filmed, just got busted for clipping somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he got
fuck. What happened to that dude?
Well, he's in prison right now.
Yeah. How long?
He got 25 to life, bro. He clipped somebody in broad daylight. A dude who was kind of like running around being a burglar. He was known as a thief. He'd actually tried to break into one of our traps one time when I was in Long Beach. But I guess, you know, there must have been some altercation, but he smoked somebody and got convicted of it. But the cameraman, like, that was like the breaking point for him. So I'm not very technologically savvy. Like yesterday, I almost had to punch holes in my wall. So I was trying to figure out how to email some shit to one of our admin ladies. And like, I almost had to cuss her out. You know what I'm saying? She didn't do anything wrong to me. You just fucking bitch, send. You don't know how to use text? Fuck. The fuck is wrong with you? Just because I can't figure out how to do a fucking email.
Attachment button right there.
Yeah, it's just, it got fucked up. My phone was doing weird shit. But anyways.
It was weird. He was like, I guess I gotta figure this out. You're gonna have to drive. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, it takes me a while. Like, so I can edit. So when he shit canned us, he never came around again. I'm talking about like wouldn't take our calls ever again. He was spooked by that shit, which rightfully so. And so I had to go buy the phone, and that's when we started doing it on the phone. And the phone allowed us to like just be free, like do what we want. Like, you're not worried about no one else's vibe. Because sometimes it is fucked up. We fucking go verbally psycho on this dude for 40 minutes to warm up. And then he's all filming all emoed out. He's crying in the middle of scenes.
And you're buffed up. You're like, I'm ready. Let's go.
Come on, you fucking backbone.
Oh, yeah. No, you're like, I'm ready to roll. We're having a good day. He's over, shivering.
Yeah, dude, he was buzzkill. How was that? Was that funny? He's like, yeah, I guess. You know. So
you
with
trying
the
to crack
phone,
jokes back and shit, even it got weird.
I had to go on YouTube, learn how to use fucking iMovie, which I'm pretty raw at that shit now.
Damn,
like I said,
so you're running through that. You do like the full editing.
I hit it on the phone,
Wow.
and I edit it usually before I leave if I go somewhere and film, because I get obsessed. We got to pull over the car, stop, we're doing to edit the shit. Boom, 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 boom. But to what I would say to a person who's afraid to see themselves on camera, but there's so many people out there that have so many good ideas. Like there's no shortage of that. And sometimes you'll get people who want to tell you their idea after they saw your idea work, and that's okay because it's fun to share. But there's things they can just do to bring theirs to life. Which, number one, just if you don't like other people seeing it, just film it for you. Like if you made a fucking 5-minute movie that actually made you laugh and just showed it just to your homies, it's still pretty fun. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's fun just to gather the content, you know, like, or maybe even I would warm up. I might even just record myself just like spazzing out in my phone, freestyle rapping, go in my car and just record myself going crazy, all the different characters playing out in my head, and then sit down and watch it and then like try not to smoke an oxy and kill yourself because you realize you're totally fucking nuts and it might not work.
Your dreams might not work out.
Yeah, no.
I'm doubling down on a split personality.
Yeah. Whoa, am I like the Joker?
You're like, yeah, I'm going back to work.
Watch a 45-minute video.
Going back to Target.
I started this for online classes. I'm like, I don't know if we're going to be able to ride this one out.
Dude. And then I would just say make it for yourself, watch it yourself, and then don't worry about somebody. Like, another thing I think that stops people is like, they might be like, I want to make something goofy, or I want to try this, I want to try stand-up, or I want to make a song. Just simply, like, who has not ever wanted to make a song? You can't sit here and tell me no one's ever wanted to drop their own fucking song.
Yeah.
You know? I've dropped like 5 of them. They're fun. I mean, they're shit, but they're fucking fun to make. You know what I mean? So even if you wanted to drop a song, you would be scared to tell your significant other that. You wouldn't want to even say that out loud to them, because in the beginning, they will probably be the person be most judgmental about that. And like my second wife, when I first came home from jail and I'm like, yo, I'm going to like, you know, are you going to work? Are you going to go back grinding? Like, you know, they're like, everyone's all paranoid. Are you just going to go back to the same thing? You know, I'm like, no, listen, I'm going to make a bunch of fucking videos on the phone, run this shit up to like a couple hundred bands.
You're like, that's not the only thing I'm going to do.
Yeah,
No,
like,
it was literally.
You know, and she was probably the most, but I mean, God bless her soul. She put up on my shit. And I knew early on, I knew she was the one, because when I first started, I was sending her to Miami with the packs in her bag. This is before people were really even doing that. It's 13 years ago, bringing the money back. I'm like, she's really helping me run this bag up and I have a lot of fun. Maybe she's the one, you know? And then one day I got like a sign. I'm getting a little choked up because she was sucking my dick in the car. And a motherfucker had cut us off, dude. And I had to like, we rolled the car. Boom, 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 boom. And I looked down and my dick was still in her mouth. And like during those 3 rolls, she didn't even bite down once. Like she kept her jaw open to make sure she didn't chomp a motherfucker's dick off. Like the car was fucked. But like, I was like, she's a keeper. I'm gonna marry this bitch. Like, how considerate is that of you?
Brought her back to
like
Humboldt.
when a guy catches a fly ball and he's holding the baby at the game, he doesn't even spill his beer.
Yeah.
It was like that type of shit. I'm like, wow, that was impressive.
Yeah. She reached out and saved the kid from getting hit. Yeah.
Next time. You broke your neck.
Her arms. Oh, fuck.
She didn't gag one time.
She's fake gagging, talking to him better.
It's okay, baby. It's okay. It's still in his
It's like a number 2 pencil.
opening her airway.
She's talking within her mouth like it's a cigarette. No, don't worry, man. She's like, I got you. No, but I think, so let's just say you want to make a song. You're not going to go downstairs and tell your wife.
No, but for real.
Let's say you're like 50. And you've been wanting to make a fucking song for a really long time.
Yeah,
and
would
it might
love
be
to.
Like a song about a homie, you just want to bash it.
Or
you
a
know
beat. Something.
Yeah, you just want to, you know, but so you're not going to go home, honey, sit down. I'm going to spend a bunch of free time that really I enjoy to go do something that I love.
And
she's
money,
like,
most likely.
No, I don't like that. None of that sounds good. You can't do shit for yourself or feel good. Like, that's not, no, I got to hate on this immediately. You're too fucking old to make a song and fucking, no one's going to get it. And fucking, what about the kids type shit. that's going to happen no matter what. If somebody doesn't support you.
Today's episode is brought to you by Grow Generation. If you're looking for a one-stop hydro shop, GrowGen's got everything you need. Lowest prices in town or the price match for you. From plugs, newts, pots, soil, lights, turkey bags, vac bags, scales, they've got it all. Trust me. Whether you've got a rec facility, a trap, or a tent, GrowGen's got you covered with 50 plus locations nationwide, or you can visit growgeneration.com and use the code FIRSTSMOKE10 to get 10% off.
I joke about my second wife. She was pretty supportive, but it got to a point she was like, "Holy crap, dude!" Like, even
she filmed in some shit.
Yeah, she made it. It was fun to film her for. Everyone got involved. The kids have been in. We do some fun shit, but I think that the biggest thing stopping most people is their significant other. They're scared to tell their dreams to the person they with because they're just worried that, like, if they shit on it, then it's really gonna have to get let go. So they just keep it to themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which I think if you have to make them a part of it at first, so that they feel more comfortable about you taking some time and actually enjoying your life and doing something you love, because that pisses them off. So you might be like, "Yo, hey, I'm gonna make a song. You want to be on it? You know what I mean? I wrote you a couple bars. Then just edit her shit out at the end. You know what I mean? Trash can that shit at the Macintosh. Yeah,
make $1 million on the production and then dip out.
Yeah. Get a one-hit wonder deal. Just
man, you did great.
Divorce her immediately as soon as you make it. No.
Shit.
You've been around, I'm sure, enough scenarios too, just real life scenarios where you hear buyers and this and that. Do you immediately just talk it into your phone?
Yeah, sometimes I have to put it in there immediately, which is most time the part. I think that if you're doing music or content, or if you're just a fucking creative person, you should use your voice memos all the time. You should be saying things. And then a lot of the time you're not going to go back and listen to them, but the fact that you documented them kind of stays in there. So sometimes I might put it in my phone, and then we might push it through and then add shit to it. We might add a conversation we had in the car smoking on the highway to that, you know what I'm saying? So you can take things that are but save it immediately. So if you say something funny with your friend and you guys are dying laughing, just lamely, it doesn't have to be like, and then he said this and we laughed, ha ha. You can just literally, hey, we were in the car today, he said this, I said that, we both laughed, boom. You know what I mean? Because then you'll know how when you document it in the phone, it kind of like, maybe their phones are a part of our brain. We're not going to get into that. I promise you guys I'm gonna go all fucking Alex Jones. How long has it been? 7 minutes in? I'm trying to go Alex Jones on you? No, but maybe I think documenting it in the phone is the new age equivalent of maybe writing it down to memorize it. And it kind of puts it in your head so you can add to it. But yes, capture shit immediately. And it doesn't have to be, dude, sometimes it's just a good conversation had between two people can be dialogue in content. It doesn't have to be funny or catchy. You might say some really sappy shit to a chick by accident and it rhymed or something. Like, damn, I'm going to dialogue that. I told the bitch this, and that. That was kind of cool. Who cares? It's whatever, but yeah, use the voice memos all the time, nonstop, every single day. You could write a movie. You could do a whole idea you had for a movie and then slowly start putting that together, even with AI, but you could do a book on tape before not everyone's going to sit down and type shit or write shit down. Like I don't think that's how people create now. Mm-hmm. You just use your voice memos and listen to it. And sometimes it's weird listening to yourself. That might get uncomfortable too. Because you're like, God damn it, that was a stupid idea. I'm gonna rest that one. Like there's like 400 of these idiotic ideas. And then I'll get like one good one,
Yeah. That's how you kind of know though. Revisit it.
Right.
100%.
Like take it all the way back. Like where'd you guys both grow up, and like when'd you guys first link up and shit?
Well, I grew up in Humboldt and in Connecticut, kind of like I went back and forth a lot of times. So my mom was a dope fiend, basically. Sometimes I would just go back out to my grandma's in Connecticut. I moved back to California at like 14. I started hanging out at a park in this place called Cutton, Sequoia Park, really beautiful park. And I was just selling weed, kind of making friends. I had like an East Coast accent. It was kind of hard to make friends or whatever. Once I started selling the weed, I started growing the weed kind of in the hill, and then I met this fool, and he was like 16, going to high school, playing sports, already living on his own. I need to take a break. I'm really high. My heart's thrashing right now.
You haven't shut up for like 12 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
I told you, Alex Jones on cheap cocaine. I told you.
Pretty much linked up at about 15 years old.
I think you were 14 or some shit.
Started selling a lot of drugs. pushing weed.
I should have warned you about the coke down here in LA.
Doing that, and he
it's
had
all laced with Fetty.
I had to drink a fucking espresso.
He'd bring him in.
Get you a little speedball and some espresso and some good weed with some hash.
We grew up in Eureka together as teenagers. At that point in time, though, it wasn't like there was Oklahoma, Colorado, LA didn't have a cannabis scene like that. The Bay Area was maybe doing their thing, but not like that. Like in those times, Humboldt was like the spot. So everybody was coming out there from all over the country. I mean, we were having 200,000-300,000 trimmigrants and just workers come through every year. Like that's a massive for such a small place, you know?
Yeah.
And we were producing a lot of the country's weed. So where we lived is like a super booming spot for a long time.
Damn near the Mecca of NorCal, if not the Mecca of California.
We're like
the economy was stimulated.
We're like the dudes in the city with dope too. You know what I'm saying? Like we're like having keys and shit. You know, like I went to jail for it already once, but we were kind of like in a position where like we could barter and do crazy things. Like these dudes would come from the hills with garbage bags full of weed that they didn't even know what to do. They just want to get high on something, and they would come pull up on us. So we use that to our advantage. So we lived like in the heart of one of the biggest traps in the nation for a long time. And it slowly...
What time period is this?
96.
So Humboldt in 96.
Booming.
Explain what that's like.
$4,800 a pound for outdoors. People coming from all over the world.
For outdoors.
People building airstrips on their own property. You know what I'm saying? Like booming type shit. Like millionaires being made in 4 months, 5 months. People run around with millions, and all they have to do is party and get high and shit, or buy more land. You know what I mean? Like it just, people were having millions, but it was also too, this was something that was like super secretive. It wasn't like you would see your neighbor and go, oh, he's a grower. Like everything was super low key. A lot of the big dogs had real jobs and like owned businesses and shit. The real good old boys that were doing it back then, they had like,
they owned the business.
They operated more like a mafioso. Like it wasn't a known thing. It wasn't talked about. Only your family trimmed for you. It wasn't, you know, a thing that was just open. It was very secretive. The National Guard was out there. People were like really going to jail for this shit, you know? So, but where we lived, it was just weird. It's like Eureka's the only town everywhere for 3 hours every direction. So it's like they have to bring the shit somewhere. They're out on the hill. They might be loners or like hill people or people who are super socially not like unequipped. They don't want to deal with other people. So they go out there and grow their weed, and they don't even think about the part of drying, trimming, and selling it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
damn near the hardest one.
At a young age, like I'm talking about kids, like us, especially for the people around our area that kind of trapped and like sold and moved shit. We were always a little bit more advanced because we did our own thing. We fucked with all the Asians. We fucked with all the Mexicans. The Paisas are the homies we grew up with. You know, we fucked with all the white boys. So it was like me and him were always moving different. We always got more money and were more equipped in the game than most of the people that we kind of grew up with. You know what I'm saying? Because we just went a different route. We didn't group up with them. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have like one group. We'd be everywhere, you know? So that was a positive. But this was just a place of like lots of bikers, you know, like almost like a fucking old biker movie, like the town of Rio Del, very small town, logging town. There'd be like 60 bikes on the street, you know, the bikers are coming up there getting green bud and taking it back to Fresno and Oakland and shit. So it was like a place of like,
if you know, you know,
melting pot of everybody, and everyone had money. Everyone was booming, man. Like it was nothing for a kid to have every dirt bike out because his dad pulled off 1 year, and people like really getting money. Which is kind of sad because you watch what happens so fucking fast. But it's not like,
I was going to say, compare that to right now. What's going on right now?
Shit.
We went from being like the Medellin. If you think of Coke, Medellin is like the spot, right? The Mecca. We were that. Mm-hmm. To now, we're the El Paso, Texas at best. You know what I'm saying? We're not even on the radar. So many people tapped out and quit because they had to. And we're in the middle of a massive, I don't know enough about like social constructs to call it a gentrification, but there's a shift in like not that many locals there anymore.
Right.
There's a lot of tech people that came up during COVID. The college was bought, you know, it's Cal Poly Humboldt now. They have a much different student body than the normal people that would visit our community throughout that university. Always really good people. Still some good people, but a different student body than it was. Crowd. Most people were going to HSU so they could get their parents to basically send them up there to learn how to grow weed.
Yeah. That's what we heard on the store.
HSU and be out and have a fucking 10 lighter somewhere balling, getting 30 pounds,
Yeah, and to get around the right people.
Companies and you know what I'm saying, all that shit when they go up there.
That was the play for like a lot of LA kids though.
Too, it was the only D2 school with a sports program too. So a lot of people from LA, hella people from LA would go there to play sports. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of cool. Like it was popping.
Oh, if I grew up in California and I was going to college, 100% I'm saying send me up north.
Right.
I know what business I want to be in and I need to be around the right people.
And they're paying you to go do it. You know what I mean?
Right. And you're learning in a place where there's so much nature that if you're going into any type of science industry, degree-wise, I can't think of too many better places. I mean, NorCal's
marine biology more, stuff like that. Yeah.
Epic place of the country. If you traveled all over the country, NorCal is very unique.
Right.
Very cool spot to grow up. Did you take it for granted growing up there, or was it like, because it's so different?
We always thought of this as,
it was life.
it's beautiful, but it's always
weed was always just part of life.
We were kids, okay, well, go back before us, like in the 60s, there was like some dudes from Ventura who went to Humboldt, and they were friends of my stepdad. And the scene was actually kind of created in the like 1964-ish to turn into what it is now. There was actually some dudes from Ventura who went to Humboldt to do that. And they started basically like purchasing, one of them was an engineer. So these were dudes who come to the hills, but they have legitimate careers and they're business minded, but they'll still live out there, right? So he was an engineer for the county and he bought a really nice piece in Honeydew. These dudes were like buying a nice piece and then growing on all the BLM and state land around them. So they were like the first guys to like have like lifeguard chairs where they're watching fields of 100 people work for them in Humboldt. Like almost like it would be like in northern Mexico where like, like cartel status, but not in that way, like kind of chill people, very secretive, cult-like almost. And so that's how it was started. And then there was also very early stages in the 60s, like some in Garberville area, like some hippie type people, super legitimate, like real life hippies who really lived and breathed that shit. And they kind of started a movement in that section too, where they were growing, 82% of the nation's weed was coming from this group of dudes from Ventura and these hippies that settled somewhere in the mountains and had enough money to buy property. I don't know if they came from money or how they arrived, but it used to be kind of good old boys, kind of like some Humboldt, like redneck dudes. When you think of like the hills of Humboldt, you think kind of hippie people, but
it's not now,
It's never was, bro. It's mostly been like dudes in cars and danners with rifles in their back window who might be shit-faced at like 10 in the morning and they're partying and they want to be left alone and they fucking, they're up there just doing their thing. And you can't disrupt what they're doing.
That's what I was. Basically, a gypsy went up there, fucked a redneck, and they made hippies.
Yeah. It's not as many hippies as you think, but it is. They built.
They came a little
probably back in the day.
Yeah. They built the community in Garberville, like even the Mattole Center where they have the concerts now. That's like built by those guys. They built that town. They pretty much put up the school. So none of that was constructed by the state caring about the people from the rural community or the government wanting to like put a school where these kids that lived in the mountains could actually go to it. They were expected to homeschool and these dudes just built one. Mm-hmm. So
South Fork used to give them a week off for trim.
Yeah.
They gave the whole school a week off so they could harvest.
But so before us, it was rocking and rolling a long time before we even were, but as a kid, I remember seeing like pounds around, my mom's boyfriend like cooked dope and sold dope. They grew and sold weed. Later when she met my stepdad, like he's from Petrolia, like born and raised. So he grew weed, for 60 years already. Wow. And he's like a beast on the hill too, you know what I mean? So I worked with him from 15 to like 19 on the hill, kind of learning the hard way. Like I would never have a summer. Sometimes I would have to sneak back because I had a girlfriend. I'd be doing weird shit, this irresponsible shit. But these fools would make, hundreds of thousands of dollars and they'd give me like 20 racks. And at 15, I'd love it. I never even wanted to go to school. Pretty much stopped school like right after 8th grade. But yeah, we pretty much from a really small section of a really small town, but that one particular town was an epicenter of illegal activity for our whole lives up until probably 2017, 18-ish. Everything kind of changed. There was a massive boom during the legalization thing. There was a boom. Money everywhere. And then that like almost was spoiled to the point the prices got crazy during COVID. People were making real money, spoiled everyone. And then the fall off after that was nuts to see what it is now.
You don't think there's no recovery from that?
A lot of people already bounced out. Like a lot of them, they working now.
And is it going to get better? People can't really see that there's going to be like, oh, well, it's going to swing back up. So I feel like people are like, how long do I want to wait this out?
That's what I mean. A lot of people did though for a long time. That's all they know.
Well, especially bills start
for
to
10, 15 years.
Tight.
All of a sudden this comes longer. You know, generations.
A lot of
you're gonna fight farmers. You fight. You know what I mean? You know, farming. Any farmer up and down. Any kind of farming.
Pretty much born and raised into this shit though, being from Humboldt. Like this is a way of life. This is like growing corn in Nebraska. This is something you're around it your whole lives. You do it. It's just a way of life. And if you've been lucky enough to live that way of life up until this point, you should be pretty thankful. If you're really born in it and you're really about this shit and been a part of it, second, third generation type people, you should be thankful for what you got out of it already, because everything is going to change. Look at the guys in early alcohol. They were having their way with the country and becoming millionaires, and then shit changed. Shit changed and started to chop away. And then, well, next thing you know, it was illegal. And then they went to jail and shit. So who knows what's to come, but I don't think there's no bouncing back from the crash that happened. Too many people lost hope, and then to be followed by a horrible economy for years after that, you know, maybe a couple good ones, and then just like the real crash set in, and then the economy got bad at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, almost by design in a little bit. You know, it's kind of crazy, but
it's not just this industry either.
No, it's everywhere. Yeah. So, but I mean, if you got some golden years, you should be happy right now.
Yeah.
Go get your truck driving license or something. I'm just keeping it real.
Some fools happy right now. That shit.
Like if you had your golden years,
He's talking to somebody.
Go get that CDL and just ride to them hemorrhoids explode.
I have mine.
There's still some people happy right now. Though. Everybody ain't sad. I can tell you that.
Calling all growers drip powders, clean, consistent, customizable. Drip powders are not just another salt. This line is innovative, balanced, and unique compared to anything else on the market today. They separated the micros from powder A into powder D, allowing cultivators to steer out nitrogen towards the end of the bloom cycle for better flavor, better terpene production, and overall ripeness. You only need to run a 2.6 EC for maximum flavor, lower costs for higher yields. Chase those terps and feed your fire Drip Hydro. If you want to access Drip Hydro nutrients, all you have to do is go to growgeneration.com and use the code FIRSTSMOKE10. Get hooked up.
It's definitely changing though. Vikings.
No, well, it's definitely changing. I'm sure. Yeah, so I would love to.
TP.
I've been wanting to.
You drive the load.
With
Look,
that,
we got a Toyota Crusoe.
I got the hat off.
We need you to do one of these, man. We need you to do it non-stop, bud.
To Massachusetts. Just fucking get it, buddy. Loaded.
We need you to go down south through Texas and then up, though. Yeah, no.
Fuck. But yeah, I think if it's already died for you,
you're fucked.
Yeah, it might be time to fucking pursue other options. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which can't be a bad idea. Everyone's always, like, even if you've done this your whole life, you've always wanted to do something else a little bit.
Well, I see you've obviously started the brand. You got bags and shops, and you're doing your thing with that. Tough time to even have a brand. What made you want to make that push?
I came in late. Only been in, I think, since January. I wanted to just watch what was going to happen. I learned a lot. To be honest with you, when I got out of jail in 2018, I still was so lame to this shit because I wasn't really online when I first got out. Like my first video I made was in jail, and I went live and I was supposed to tattoo a Raiders helmet on my boy from Clear Lake. I made him do this shit. He owed me some money. I was just fucking with him. Like, you're going to get a tattoo and I'm going to do it. I'm going to give you a tramp stamp Raiders helmet. He's like, fuck it. All right, let's do it. So we got log onto my shit from the jail phone, and I go live, and I end up tattooing a bird, like taking a gnarly shit into his butt. Right?
Oh my God.
On the live. So the video got hella play, but people knew I was locked up, but I seen it going crazy. And I was like, damn, that shit was actually pretty funny. That shit went up. Now you forgot what I was fucking saying, you piece of shit.
Good weed. Yo, this is fire, bro.
You were saying you weren't really online
That's
like
a
that.
sticky.
Yeah, so that video was
when you got out of jail.
Yeah. So when I got out, though, I didn't know what Cookies was. I didn't know what Jungle Boys was. I really didn't know.
Oh, you were in for a while.
I just was never paid attention. Like outside of Humboldt County, I never gave a fuck about the world, bro. Like if you weren't out on 36 every summer with like 5 bad bitches in your diesel truck, you probably weren't going to bump into me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's known, like we're out here having fun. I just never really paid attention because I have a Snapchat for a while. And I was kind of like on some polygamy shit. I had like 3-4 chicks at one time, for a long time. It's known, in the city. But I would Snapchat with my broads. And my shit used to be my shit known in the city. It's known in the city. It's known in the city. I live in a small town where you go to Applebee's with your 4 bitches, bro. People know, like.
They're like, oh, is this your family? We're like, fucking kinda.
We'll get into that here a little bit.
Kinda.
Fucking Eureka, bro.
But I would Snapchat my broads, and then someone would always hack my Snapchat.
Hack your Snapchat.
I would never be able to log on. I get like funny ass videos on there for like a month. And then I wouldn't be able to log on. I'm like, this fucking sucks. So I kind of gave up on the shit. But so I get out, and the homie here, Cali Cute Organics, he would pull up to the crib. We would do our thing. Go look at some packs, go bullshit a little bit. But he would always pull up with like these bags of Jungle Boys, cookies, like everything. Those food would have like one of every gram of Jungle Boys rosin. And so we would sit there, and I remember every time he'd pull up, I'd be like, ooh, I want to see this shit. I'd never really, like, Humboldt was for me, and maybe I'm just a dinosaur to it, but I never even considered branding. Like, it was always like, grow as much weed you can during the season and sell it and try to do something with the money. It was never like even thought of as a brand. And I didn't even know other people were branding. I didn't know they were out there doing this, right? I really just didn't know. I'd never been to a dispensary, even when there were 215 ones. I never went inside one. I always like, my mom was the weed lady. She always had good cookies, good granddaddy. She had her little 2-lighter, and that's where we bought smoke bags,
Wild.
But I never really knew that there's people out here branding their cannabis, and that there's people that were fans of it, and that it was like a lane. Like, there was all these people that were like cannabis enthusiast focused. I didn't know that. So this fool started coming to the house and sit me down and explain, like, this is Jungle Boys, this is cookies, hey, this brand, this is popular, this is what they do. And then I'd start looking it up, and I would just learn about it. And in my mind, my wheels start turning. I'm like, these fools are doing this. And I've been in this probably 20 years longer than them already, just from my childhood, so I need to try to make my mark. I need to come up with a brand. So I thought I was going to fucking go legal. I'll take some money I had, and they're like, no, you're on parole and shit. You're a felon. You're not going nowhere near a license. What the fuck are you talking about? They're laughing in my face. I'm like, oh shit. So I had to sit down and go back to the drawing board. How can we get in on this? Because I couldn't even explain to myself, why had I not known about this yet? Mm-hmm. Like, damn, bro, like, you really been are you a hill person? What the fuck is wrong with you? You didn't know about this shit? I've seen some of the content they created and shit. And so I became, before I knew about anything, I was kind of like, the first brand I ever seen was Jungle Boys and then cookies. And I became a fan of kind of both, but I was really fucking with that Jungle Boys shit heavy. So a couple skits in, that's when we actually got to go meet them. They had sent me a box of merch, like a refrigerator box full of Lux shit. Man. You know what I mean? I'm talking about, dog, like, was huge. 70 sweaters, 70 shirts, 70 hats. I'm like, damn, this is tight. Like, now I'm starting to notice people from outside of Humboldt have noticed us. You know what I mean? And but I would tell him when he would bring the bags in the very beginning, I'm like, just watch, because when wheels started turning, I started telling him, because it's good to say things out loud. Like, no matter what you're going to do, like, I might just scream, I'm motherfucking unstoppable. I can't be stopped. In the fucking car, and he's like, oh, beat your autistic ass. Like, get out of my face, fool. It's good to just tell people shit. Like, I think that maybe there's people who would speak negative, like say, don't voice your intentions, or he who lies in a dirty room will get filthy type fucking, what's that, 48 Laws of fucking homosexuality, that book. Like, what kind of weird mental control are people trying to have on people? I read 48 Laws of Power. Good, so you're dumb. You idiot. If you need to read a book to figure out how to manipulate people, you're stupid. But people would say, don't voice what you're going to do. Keep it to yourself, or don't speak your intentions, because people will, there's all types of philosophical bullshit memes that'll come up with it. I think you should just tell people all the time. Like, yeah, I'm going to have the biggest fucking podcast in the world. I can't be stopped. If you think I'll be stopped, I'll fucking fight you right now. Fuck you. And it's like your grandma. She's like, no, honey, I think you're going to make it.
Yeah,
right. Cool. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Like,
I'll bust the windows out of this. You got to tell people what the fuck you're going to do. So I'm opening up the bag.
It's like, just start with your grandma.
Yeah. Get somebody nice first so they can't shit on your grave.
It's usually the ones closest that doubt you the most.
They're scared. You scare them enough. This is a great song, man. We need you to make another one. Randy wants to be those videos. You really think so?
Oh, fuck.
He got kicked out when he was a kid. He lived on a church cult fucking camp. Making this demon music. They found one of his freestyles, spanked him, threw him off the farm.
Oh, yeah, the spiky hair, the whole deal.
Oh, dude, he's all gouged out. He's all eyeliner down. He had a goth boy fade, like 17 to 21. He's having raves and shit. But I think you should say it out loud. So I would open up the bag, look at all the shit. We'd open up every rosin, take a hit of that shit. Then I seen the puff go. And so a lot of the shit, I never knew about none of this shit until he started bringing it to the house. And he'd have to sit down and explain to me like, no, motherfucker, you push the button twice right here and it vibrates. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. You know what I mean? But I started learning like, okay, people are like monetizing and branding the things that they're enthusiastic about in cannabis. This is fucking dope. But I can't get on a license. And then I had gotten an abatement notice right when I got out. I kind of sunk everything I had into a spot with my boy. I went to jail for a year. When I got out, I'm like, I'm not even tripping in jail. I actually spent hella money when I was in there because I'm thinking I'm just going to get out and just run it up. I'm going straight to the hill and just going nuts for like 90 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's fucking get this shit. I get out like day 4 up in the mailbox. Abatement notice. This property is now worth dick. If you plant a plant on here, we'll come crush it. And we're not fucking joking. Here's a satellite pictures. Fuck. Well, there goes my life savings. You know what I mean? Fresh out of jail. I'm like, oh, great. So everything kind of hit at once. But I'm like, I still want to monetize and brand my shit. And I don't know why, but I used to say this. When I first found out about white market weed and knew it was a thing, I used to say, yeah, but we the Black Market Vikings. Right? Yo, did you hear about this dude, this brand? That? Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Vikings of the black market.
Straight up.
I mean, we came to rape and pillage. Fuck you. You know what I mean? That's my response all the time. Like, yeah, I don't know, dog. I'm a Viking with the black market. You know, so that's how I kind of came up with the name. And then, so we get this box from Lux Lighting and we end up smashing to LA. And it's the first, like I met people in Humboldt that did cannabis, but they weren't like cannabis people. It was very different when you come to LA, bro. I didn't know this existed. I didn't know there was people out here who were just as enthusiastic and like into it. And it's like a lifestyle and shit. You know what I mean? I didn't know that. But we pulled up on Ivan and them.
Big grows.
Yeah, like checked out the shit. But we ended up going to the club with them and had hella fun. Like some of the only times I've actually partied are with the Jungle Boys. Like, you know, like I go like years and years and years without taking a sip of alcohol, and then like Ivan will just like, drink you pussy, and I'll just party with these dudes and have fun. And it's really cool to meet people from outside of our area. Those are the first people that ever really embraced us though. Always would take us to parties, always chill with us, be supportive at all times. We sold a shitload of lights with them, you know, because, and there's another thing about the journey is like, you want to monetize so bad that you're just going to sell the shit that you're actually using. So I'm buying these, we're using them. We start selling them, you know, when the company sells or whatever happens after that, we don't even think that far into it at that point when we're creating. We're just trying to get paid and make money like everybody else is. I mean, there was a time that no one's going to sit here and say it wasn't a cash grab for them. There was cash to be grabbed. Why would you not want to jump in and, you know what I mean? Sold a lot of nutrients, traveled with them a couple times, but they're like cool ass group of dudes. The only people we really partied with in the beginning are the people that embraced us and said straight up, hey, you've done great work. We're going to send you this much a month to help you guys create, or you can go here and just charge it on this card. We'll take care of you to do that because we want to see you make more content. And that shit was dope. And I think that's a good way for them to like reach out the gauntlet and support Humboldt, because it's important that everybody kind of supports Humboldt, Mendocino, Trinity, any people they can up there out of respect for the game. You know, big thing I like about Be Real always kind of supports Humboldt. Burner's a massive supporter. Cookies goes out of their way. And you could say, oh, this is corporate weed. Yeah, but they're paying homage and they're employing people. It's a cash grab for everybody at this point. Doesn't mean that's the route I wanted to take or even had the ability to take. You know what I mean? I'm probably a brand risk to a corporate entity. But I waited till everyone kind of did their thing. I'm like, went in the dispensary so much, I actually looked and seen how much I spent in there one day, and it almost made me want to kill myself. I was like, wait, what? Like, yeah, you spent this much money total in the last year. I went out to my car, just looked at myself in the rearview and just like, how should I kill you, you piece of shit? You're Pookie from New Jack. You're a dope fiend loser, scumbag. Like, you spent that much money on 710 and branded flower. I just like to go there. It's like an experience just to go in there and I'll take two of these, just ball out. So fucking corny, but I did it. And I spent a lot of money. So I'm like, I just watched all these brands pop up, then disappear, pop up, disappear. And then I start noticing the people with a quality product in a lane and price point that they need to be, that's fair, would stay around. So I'm like, it's not that risky. We could get into this shit. It's not just dead. You just have to deliver something special and keep it price point appropriate, you know, which is hard to do because you can't control what a dispensary is gonna. So when we came in, I found some pretty good. I fuck with this dispensary in Modesto, and they're some of the coolest people I met yet. And that dude named Bert who owns it, but they're cool. They kind of said, "Look, you got to give us a jug on this shit, and we're gonna pass this jug to our people. Our customers are gonna feel this savings." Which is like a no-brainer for us because they're doing a decent order too. They're kind of keeping us afloat and helping us out, supporting us. But they're like, you know, we're not trying to whoop you on the price, but we're trying to make sure our people get laced. You know what I mean? That's fucking dope. Let's go. And you'll have some people, you know, it's hard.
That want to triple up.
And when you have a brand now, I think it's expected that you like leave things and, you know, do terms and shit. I won't do that. So I kind of watched what went bad, came in late. Not because I wanted to capitalize. I just feel like it just took us that much time to get our shit together. And then we had to find people that used the regiment that we liked. And, you know, because anybody could just go to a facility and say, hey, want to run my brand and then package this shit. I kind of had to find, we found Wicked. They like the first people we ever walked in there growing like, this is exactly how I would do it. You know, you're running Canna, you're running Cocoa. This works. Like, this is some good bags. And we brought our genetics there because we've been stacking weird shit. Like, this fool's weird. If we encounter something crazy, like that's how we found the mountain goat. Like, we were encountering some crazy indoors and fools just pulling all the way up to the bolt and cashing out 18 for them, no questions asked. And then even like prepaying, like we'll take some more of those when they're ready again. Let me just leave this money. Like, damn, these things are a winner chicken dinner. How much they want for a fuck clone? He's like, fucking dude wants like $15K. I'm like, fuck. This fool just bought 3 peas and rolled it up into blunts. And we found 6 seeds. And then we just stole the name too. So
Sounds like this guy. Also bear. It's the Black Market Vikings right here.
Sounds like this guy won. Nothing.
Hey,
No, that's hilarious.
I can't get a clone. Okay, I'm gonna find a bean in one of these motherfuckers.
I definitely will. Okay, yeah, I see that point. I definitely hunted down some things before when I'm like, oh yeah, there's seeds in that. Right. Interesting.
yeah, all those.
Oh
yeah.
I put a lot of bag seeds aside.
We had like a dude, that's how we got the Yamaguchi. A homie made it. He's a breeder and he made it for some fools. Just gave it to us on a string thinking we're going to do like what we used to do, like grow our little 8-lighters so we could get ripped. You know what I mean? It's like, no, we're like giving this shit to a facility, starting a whole brand off of it. He's like, damn, y'all just re-rocked my shit, huh? Yeah.
It's smoking. It's smoking great.
I got time to be fucking flailing around in tents with pollen and shit. I just steal your ideas. No, but
What?
He's a
how'd you
Brandon
come up with
genius
the name?
himself,
The
though.
Yamaguchi.
Oh man, I had a bag and I just handed it to him one day. I'm like, what's the smell like? He said, Yamaguchi's pussy. And I was like, Yamaguchi coochie.
Yamaguchi, the most
Talking
beautiful
about-
woman on earth.
Right, this figure skater, Yamaguchi.
Panties in the locker room
Yeah.
and gave a whiff. It'd be the greatest smell you ever
It's like,
smelled.
yeah, we're
in
gonna
your
make it
life.
an upside down fish,
Damn.
even a dead fish.
Yeah, but then also reality too. Yamaguchi, I think it means welcome to the hills. And it's a Blue Nerds Coochie Runts cross.
Tastes great.
Thank you.
Blue Nerds and Gucci runs.
Add a little skittle in there too.
Mix the bulldog with her shih tzu. Calling it a bullshit.
We let a chihuahua fuck a rabbit on that one, buddy.
Yeah, it worked out.
Something happened. And
He made a jackrabbit.
We're all
Yeah.
extra heady dudes.
Yeah, and the funny thing
You
was
want
he
another
burned us. He burned us for like $7,000 in Smalls later on. He got us back. So we paid for it in the long
If
run.
you email me, I'll tell you.
Hey, what goes around comes around.
Straight up.
Yeah, he got us. I knew when I handed those to him that we ain't seeing that.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, shit happens. But yeah, I was like, man, the Yamaguchi. When he handed me the bag, I'm like, ooh, this that Yamaguchi.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, Christina Yamaguchi's coochie.
Did you know at that time you were going to do a seafood section, or it just started with that and it evolved?
Well, I always thought we got to do something because we're like a coastal community.
Right.
And what are we going to do? A fishing boat with a crab net? Cool.
Right.
Fucking pearl shells or something dorky.
Yacht club.
We came to something even shittier than that.
Obviously. Don't just do a bunch of fish that we don't even sell at home.
Yeah. Like Atlantic salmon. This isn't even.
They send all our shit out.
But I think it makes sense. We're a coastal community and it's a menu in itself. It's not stack pack bullshit. The shit, it smokes.
Yeah.
So it's a menu in itself, so it deserved its own lane. And then now you'll see there's other brands that have some seafood marinated type shit. Nobody's hating on that, though. I appreciate if the dude's fucking, I dropped this 3.5 years ago.
Okay.
And then they did the blue lobster out in Maine. I did a post on this that had 1.8 million views on it on Mother's Day once. If your man is fucking, what'd I say? If he's like a deadbeat or he's in jail, call me. I got you one of these, right? It had, 300,000 on TikTok, went 1 million on Instagram. And then like 2 months later, it all gets taken down, whatever the little community guidelines. But these dudes dropped blue lobster like years later, which is okay. That's cool. They're from Maine, of course, but they try to comment on my shit like white lobster, LOL. I'm like, do you think you invented something or what are you guys doing? Like, go back to fucking fighting with the natives about the fishing rights up there. Like,
the name game's a crazy one.
we're not going to copy the seafood shit. But then there's a couple dudes that have like whale themed shit, seafood type names, I guess. There's a pink piranha. Once we dropped the blue piranha, there's a pink piranha. So I don't know if someone bred a new version of it. They found a bag seed in like
2 weeks. Yo, just so you know.
Yeah.
We're doing pink piranha over here. We've been there for 2.5 years.
One of the craziest feelings ever was someone finding a bag seed in your flower and then every week updating you on how well it's doing. I've had that go for like a good 12. I'm like,
Dude, these things are really sprouting, bro. Thanks. Thanks for the genetics.
This is Blackleaf Fruity Pebbles.
Thanks for being giving you his greenhouse in Compton. Watching it grow. But yeah, so we kind of fandangled the strains a little bit. One thing I noticed too, though, you have to come out with new shit. We're dropping the bacalao. We got the mountain goat that we obviously stole from somebody through a bag seed. But we're excited about that one. But I think the Yamaguchi's, it's in Humboldt, it's in Redding.
What do you think about that though? Because it's true. Once you drop the bag,
people had the genetics.
They want the new bag.
You go give the
They
clones
want a new fucking strain.
Go give clones to someone. This is important. Don't give it to no one. The first thing they do is cut clones and give it to everyone. It's like broken.
Yeah. If you
don't give it to no one, cool. Everyone will have this by next year.
If you give a strain to Humboldt, though, it's dead.
Yeah.
It's
even
dead.
good friends. I mean, even licensing deals. Homies that are close to me, the only thing they've ever said is once you give it out, you better be working on the next thing.
You got to have something.
You better be already, not even thinking, you better be in full motion on it because no matter how tight you are with that person,
Well, that's kind of weird too. I don't pay a lot of attention to like the legal battles that be happening through people in cannabis, but I feel like once you give someone the genetics to use, you have no control what happens from that point. There's no way unless you have genetic patents,
licensing deals and shit.
But even then, you give your plants to somebody, it's over with.
Especially if they're good genetics. It's funny because people are like, yeah, we'd love to. And then when they realize something has a name behind it and it's selling, it's good.
Grow it, guys, but like, let us sell it. Come on now, you're fucking, you're going around us for 50 cents now, you piece of shit. Next time I'm gonna give you Blue Dream. Or just walk over to your house and mail pollen and start patting myself on the back.
See, this guy's devious. That's some devious shit.
Your facility, bunch of spider mites in my back. Right in your grow room. Take that, guys. Spray those off.
This guy pat myself on the back. You don't even think about shit. Pollen everywhere.
Dust coming off me.
Holy
you guys, when did you guys cut down? Oh, week from now. That was good.
That's fucked.
Have him be like, let's get going. Just fucking fuck you. I'll go piss in their water tanks. But I don't know. I feel like once they have your genetics, they're out there. Nothing you can do about that. Just try to buy your bags back and make sure they're selling them at a decent price and not getting desperate and weird. But you got to come out with something new. But then you'll learn, that first couple go rounds. Like, I'm not giving this shit to this dude ever again. Fucktard, you got to drop new shit. So we're going to drop some new shit. And then I think it's cool to drop shit that's unavailable really anywhere unless someone pulls up on you. That's kind of cool. Like, I live in a smaller, I go to SAC, I have people pull up on me all day. I meet all types of new people. Every time I go there, I'm going to meet 10 to 15 people going to pull up on me. I just go into Planet Fitness, work out for 20 minutes, wait till the next person pops up, and just go out there and bullshit with them, for 34 minutes. But I meet a lot of new people, sell them zips, whatever. Legally, I'm doing an appearance, giving them the fucking ounce of weed as a gift. But I think if you guys are watching, 100% illegal. That's your attorney told you, buddy. Okay, it's legal.
It says it right
Charge you
there.
for the picture.
This is the appearance. This is it. I appeared and I had one. So take that, motherfuckers. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to drop some shit that's like not available nowhere. Like, fuck it. It's not even at the shops. None of my homies have it. I got like 9 zips and it's all for me. Fuck you.
No, that's what people want these days. They want the stuff that no one else has. That's why it's always on to something new. What's new?
Yeah.
What haven't they had yet? What haven't I had yet?
It kind of makes it hard to build with someone on a smaller scale. Like if you're selling them like 2s and 3s, you're shipping them 2s and 3s to Jersey or somewhere because they're like, do you know this farm and this farm? Can you get any of their shit? And it's like, no, guy, I'm like more concerned with my own shit. But yeah, whatever. I guess we're done. We're done here. So it makes it hard to build with people.
The game is definitely fucked.
That needs to be a skit right there.
That is a skit.
This is blunt.
Hey man, can you get this person's product? And it's like, yeah, then that's the last time you hear about it. That's it.
Here. All right. Thanks for nothing. Did one transaction with you. Cool. It made $500.
No more black piranha for you, buddy.
Yeah. Like who? Broken hearted, hating. Fuck, they always get more clout than me. No, I had my buddy come and we did some work. I took him around and shit. I actually drove for him for a little bit because he was worried about being out in the hills and shit, driving around. And at the end of it, he's like, man, you know what I really want to do? I'm like, what? He's like, man, at 420 shit in LA, I'm finna get me a picture with exotic flavors. That way I can finally say I done ran into a big dog. And I'm like, what the fuck am I, chopped liver, you piece of shit? I just helped you do all this work for 3 fucking days. I'm viral. What are you talking about here? Take a fucking picture with me, you piece of shit. He's like, man, do you know Cody or not? I'm like, I'll text him, dog. Until I'm taking pictures.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, sometimes the cannabis industry's, there's never a good or a bad time to come in. You just have to have some quality shit, which I believe this shit's smoking.
Yep.
And it's popular outside of here, which is cool, but it does suck because you need an ever-changing menu on a constant basis. And for a small dude, that's hard to pull off. So I have to convince other people to grow our weed. Because if we grew it, it'd just be a Spider-Man farm.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a powder mold
We're going to Oregon
project.
Getting our nukes from Oregon.
Yeah, we're colleges in there.
We're going there and spraying everything.
With UC Davis, we'd have UC Berkeley just coming to how to fuck it up. Look, it's so diseased right here. It's a new type of aphid.
New type of
We created some other shit a couple times.
No, it's good though. It takes curation, right? And the people that grow a lot of times don't want to deal with all this. They don't want to have to brand it. They don't want to have to sell it. Most of the growers, even cultivation teams, don't like dealing with the outside public a lot of times. It's a good cohesive relationship when you have a tastemaker with the right strains, like you said, getting them the right genetics, knowing the market, and then you guys putting your spin on the genetics that they're cultivating. And obviously, when you're running things like Canna and, partial organics, if not all organics, and doing the hard route with obviously having to run that thick of nutrients through lines, and there's a lot of extra work that goes into it. It pays off in the end because this is smelling great, tasting great, smoking great. This is our second or third time we've had this already. And every time, we've smoked through the whole 8th.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And one thing I always say to people out there too, there's going to be people who grow it. Sales is a lane. Advertising is a lane. Influencing is a lane. I don't really like to call it influencing because it's really just advertising that's done on a personal basis. But if I want to go on OnlyFans and make my balls fart and people want to pay me for it, that's influencing. I'm trying to teach people how to do a trick they didn't do before. But if I'm just saying, hey, I like this type of matcha, go buy it if you fucking want to. I don't really care. That's advertising. That needs to be paid for because that's organic. You know what I mean? Fuck you. Pay me.
Something about weed though, they don't want to hear it. It's a weird niche. It's almost, we say like skateboarding.
That's what I'm saying. Even getting in it.
Over advertise and kill yourself.
Yeah.
You could put up a celebrity and people are like, this shit's gay now. This is just I don't want the part of this, So you can over advertise. The best way to do it, I think, is remain organic. And then Like if you're just a salesperson and you just want a brand, there's nothing wrong with that. Anybody criticizes you for want to hold control of that particular lane. If you want to do your own sales and not do it through a distro, you could do that. That's very easy. So don't let that stop you, because not everybody has to, like, we don't grow the shit. But yeah, we came up with the genetics. And I probably could pull it off if I want to, bro, but I did that most of my life. I don't really have a bunch of interest in working in the grow anymore. I like just having fun. You know what I mean? I'm the retard that makes the videos. But I'll do my own sales too. I like doing sales. I do sales of other products. And like I said, I did a lot of Lux, a lot of Athena, Power SI. I sold a lot of Newts. So I have an understanding of sales. But the coolest part about just having your own cannabis brand, and if you're doing your own shit, moving around, you just get to meet people. And for motherfuckers who like if you think of a rapper rapping about making it to a key, right? That would be like a big deal. And you have to understand, we were like 17, 18, we were up like 6, 7 keys. You know what I mean? We were rocking up 2 and keeping 6 soft. So
I thought it was figurative. I thought you were talking figurative for a second. Okay, you mean literal. Okay.
Even when before high school was over, we were up a couple keys and like trading weed and doing shit. Going to Oakland, and we came up under some real like drug lords. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
crazy time.
We're used to interacting with a normal person. Like it feels good to ride around and meet 8 people in a day, because that's all we really know. Our whole lives were spent just literally just chasing it and meeting people and hiding and ducking and getting arrested and getting out and going back, and it's just like nonstop. So it's like you have this. So like riding around to 12 dispensaries in a day can be very exciting for you, even though it's a different type of sales. It's a whole different type of vibe, different type of people, but it's just fun to be different spots, be expected places, and pull up and have to handle it. So if you want to do a brand, you don't have to have a distro. You can find a distro to help you move your shit metrically, you know, to like help you with your transactions you have to keep logs of. But you could do your own sales. You know, you can make a cheaper deal with your distro. You can say like the 8% or 10% you give your sales, which they probably do 6. I'll just take that to myself and then pay you the rest. So you still have a way to get it delivered, way to push it. And you can just mob around the dispensaries and try to meet buyers and sell your shit. It could be that easy. But I learned the hard way too. I fucking am horrible with money. So I ran up a bag just going to these places. So I broke even for like a year, but I started doing shit abnormal, going to hotels I don't normally have no business being at, and eating out a lot. And you know what I mean? Just sometimes going to a town. I go to Modesto. I expect to hit dispensaries. I end up just kicking it with the homies for like 3 days. Don't even stop by a dispensary. But this is all on like a business time. You know what I'm saying? Even like I sold butane, dry ice, and nitrogen for a company called Atkins, all those fast dudes. You know what I mean? Real motherfuckers that came up in the shit. And I worked there for a year, bro. I don't think I did anything. I just was like fucking her. I'd be at the beach sometimes for like a month straight, every day. Working from home, don't worry, you know. And
propane sales.
I did some sales. We just kicked it, you know.
Their sales went up.
Some shit like some big labs organically, because I was just like, we met some dudes at MJ that just happened to own a lab, and I sold them. So doing sales is a hustle in itself. And if you're even if like motherfuckers are trying to say, you know, wouldn't you want to hire like a young person to go around and do your sales? But the cool thing about weed is there's no age restriction. There's no type of person. There's no shape, form, vibe, frequency, secular to it or singular to it. I mean, like, it's everybody and every single thing. And you can see that because look at the custies that come into a dispensary, which we talk about custies like they're a bad thing. God bless these people.
Yes. I'm one half the time.
You know what I'm saying?
I really am, man. New shit, I'm always loving.
Until I realized how much I spent in a year. Then I wanted to burn the place to the ground.
Yeah, no, it does get crazy.
Fuck. You know, it is what it is. But these custies, if you look at like a small dispensary sees 300 people, look at the group of people, how different it all is. So it's kind of like comedy in a way. Cannabis and comedy go hand in hand. Because comedy, you could be funny as fuck, look like Chris Farley, no one gives a shit. Mm-hmm. And cannabis, you could be 42, you could be 56, you could be 20, you could do any age group or any type of personality, as long as when you go to make your sale, you connect them with the person that's doing the buying. Or if you do terms, you've done your research through other salespeople to see like, hey, do these guys pay? And try to get like 2 people who do sales to vouch for them just to see. That way, when they don't pay, you have someone to call them. Hey, you piece of shit. Were you in on that?
You know what I mean? I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. But I think just the way we like, it's just different. Even before I didn't know there was white market weed and branding and a community out there that was enthusiastic, and it was like a trend almost, like a style, you know? I didn't really know there was normal people. Like I'm expecting everybody's caught a gun case and fucking been in a home invasion. And like I literally expected, like when I started branching out, we like went and met the Jungle Boys. They were like all normal ass people, like hella cool, chill. You know what I mean? I'm just not really knowing that there's normal people involved in this shit. Like you had some good old boys from Humboldt and everybody else was like us. You know what I mean? Just completely berserk, trapped out of there. Didn't even know there was normal people. You know, my first wife, she's like a psychiatrist now. She went to Berkeley. She's a smart woman. And I don't know how we even linked together. I guess opposites attract, but she would like almost go in tears sometimes when she would realize that I wasn't just pretending to not know about normal people. Like I really didn't know that people were normal. I thought everybody had stash spots in their car. Like I literally thought it was totally normal to wake your brother up when he's in sixth grade and make him run half a bird down the street and pass it off. I thought this was completely everyday life. You know what I mean? Like I've been raided by a task 21 times in my lifetime, bro. My mom's house has been hit 9 times for me and another person. So this was like normal shit. Like, and it would take him a couple of tries to get me. So even now, even when I'm not doing nothing, I have days I can't sleep because I think I'm going to get raided because it's so fucked up in my head. I have like months I won't even go to my mom's house because I don't want them to even drive by and see me there and think that I'm doing something there and kick it in again. Like I'm completely mentally fucked up from it. But I didn't know there was normal people. So sometimes she'd catch me like, wait, what? No, like you're kidding, right? And she's like such a sweet part, grew up rich, like very intellectual person, very nice lady. And she'd like go into tears almost and I realized I'm not kidding. I really didn't know that people didn't act like this or live like this. You know what I'm saying? I thought this was totally normal my whole life, which is crazy.
What's the key to marriage?
I've been divorced twice.
I got to ask.
But both my marriages last over 10 years.
Do it multiple times?
Never even had a ring.
You just asked that to a guy who just got done talking. I had 3 or 4 women.
I know. That's what I want to ask.
First marriage, I ended up having a kid with someone else while married.
There you go.
And she stuck with me for a long time.
Wow.
I ended up going to jail on her. I went to jail for 22 months. And during that time, we disconnected. But we've been together since we were like, you know, young. And she's with me for 13 years. So both times I got married was at the courthouse a day before I went to prison.
Both times?
Both times. Both marriages was a day before I turned myself in, get ready to go to prison. The bitch just said, you're not going to have some skank marry you while you're down and visit you and actually fuck you. I'm going to marry you, then leave you about a month into this so no one can visit you and fuck you. That's exactly what happened.
Nice. His story.
You know. But if you've been to jail before, you don't worry about what's happening now. It's like, I give two fucking, literally. And another thing too, me personally, I was married for over a decade both times, but I picked very traditional women whose fathers were very unorthodox. You know what I'm saying? Like my second wife's dad was like, grew weed and did shit. He's like from Mexico. He's like a big time paisa fool. And my first wife's dad was like this fucking Italian dude from Bensonhurst, Brooklyn that owned a bunch of cabs that was just out in Humboldt fucking balling. Just skyballing, dog. Like she was so rich. She came from like the first time I met her mom's like, she like looks at her daughter and like almost slaps her. And I was like, how you doing, you know? And I had a great grandmother. I know I have manners, believe it or not, even though I'm an inappropriate piece of shit, vulgar cocksucker, but I have manners. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? And she like pulled her aside and she's like hella loud. She's like, doesn't he fucking know we have a dentist in the family? Because my tooth was chipped because I had bit a dude's nose off in a fight. I broke my teeth in half, so I hadn't got them fixed yet. She like about slapped it. You up here fucking with the motherfucker with a chipped tooth? In a Nike tracksuit? In a 5.0? A brand new 5.0 at fucking 16 years old? What the fuck are you doing? Who is this kid? What the fuck are you doing? Does he know that we have a dentist? More importantly, does he know we have a dentist? She's like, no, I didn't tell him. She's like, I'm making the appointment right now. And she's like, made me a dentist appointment at like 10 o'clock at night. It's the first time I met this lady. But I was like, I didn't know that fucking like normal people would just go fix the shit. I was like waiting for my mom to make an appointment for me and maybe see if we can get it done for free and shit. So I went down there and I had money. I didn't know the basic responsibilities and ins and outs of just life. You know what I mean? Like I would get fucking, dude, I had severe learning disability or something, but I would get like constant tickets all the time, even when I was younger. Could never go the speed limit. I'd lose my license. I'd just go buy little buckets and mob around till they suspended the car. I'd get like 15 driving on suspendeds. You know what I mean? And I'd have to go to DMV trial and all this shit. I'd have no license for like years, sometimes 3 years. And so this was like normal, weird things that I would do. Like I never had nobody, because I was raised by my grandmother and my dope fiend mom. My dad was there, but he ended up dying when I was in 4th grade. So it's kind of like my grandmother and my mom went back and forth. My mom was a dope fiend who was with a biker who cooked dope and sold weed. You know what I mean? Like a fucking gangster. So my childhood was, because I was telling these fools, like one of my earliest memories is like being home invaded when I was like in 2nd grade, like having this fool named Cowboy Dale, like rip us out of our beds, make us go in the living room, like held the gun to us all twacked out, like telling my mom and her boyfriend he's going to kill us if they don't pay him and shit. This is like some shit that happened in the 80s. Like the 80s was such a wild place in Humboldt for people like us because our moms was affected by the war on drugs. That shit collapsed our whole realities, dog. You know what I'm saying? We were bouncing from an aunt, uncle to a grandma to a cousin just to have places to stay. And then like, if you go to our city, a lot of people really know like, no, them fools came up from, you know what I mean? This fool used to jump in the bay for $1 when he was a kid. You know what I mean? Yeah, we'd be at the arcade, we'd be at the arcade 5, 6 in the morning every night, doing whatever he wanted. You know what I mean? There's no rules. The 80s too, we had this thing called the cruise. So it's like people came from all over the place to drive in this big circle. And in this big circle, there's no open container. So everyone just pulls up, gets a spot on the sidewalk and parties all fucking night. This is the 80s before the internet. There's no screens running people. Everyone had to be outside. The mini trucks are coming by with the fucking beds that lift up, low riders, shit, hot rods. It's like a whole thing every weekend. We would be like the only 2 kids down there. Like just chilling,
fighting that.
I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, just full of beating people up, crowds of people outside the Burger King. You know, he's knocking out grown men at like 12, 13. Well, I'm just out there. We're out there just doing whatever, man. Motherfucker might pay us $15 to wait in line for him somewhere, but we were just like the only 2 kids out there. So it was kind of like from the beginning, we were on the path together, and it just only made sense when we started doing a comedy like this. Like if anybody knows us, we fuck around a lot. Like it's almost obnoxious. Like this fucking Cali kid travels with us, and that shit can be intense, bro. I'm fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And he's around me the most. So I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll wake up, dog. It's just, you're a little punk and fucking fuck you. You get blasted. I'll go for hours, but I can't stop. I won't even stop. I won't even take a single word anyone says serious because I'm fucked up, right? But he'll come back on me, and then sometimes it'll just ricochet and we'll just get on this fool. But we're like out of the country. It's like rough. You can't escape it. You know what I mean? Like
you get a taste of it if you watch your story on Instagram a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a good,
I'm out there.
Some days are really funny.
Oh yeah.
Some days it'll be like whenever there's like 15 plus stories, you know, it's one of those days.
Right.
I'm fucked up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I make weird noises sometimes. I sing songs and shit. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. But I did notice, like I told you guys, I quit smoking weed for 90 days just before we came here. A lot of that went away, and I almost missed it. Because I was like, damn, I'm like feeling kind of normal. I'm not hearing fucking skits play in my head. I don't feel like doing any weird dances or cussing for no reason. I feel pretty chill. And I was like, 90 days of that. I'm like, pass the Dutchie to the left-hand side. It's time to get weird again. That was boring. You know what I mean? Did get a lot done though physically. Like I would encourage everybody out there because you know how lame it would be to me. Like you go first smoke of the day and I don't even smoke no more. And I was actually like that. Even like I don't care what other people think. To me, that's even lame. I gotta get ripped from my boys if we're gonna bullshit. Look at us sitting here all sober. Like so yeah. Like anyway. So that's when we met after.
Oh, this place is fogged out. Right. People can see it. They'll be like, it's opalescent. It's like yeah, it's smoke, bitch. People will literally be like, I think the podcast is iridescent. You're like, no, it's just you can see the rays coming through.
Out.
Always.
But let's say you're hitting a point in your life, you're like, damn, I have some goals physically or exercise wise or even diet wise, right? Like, hey, I need to quit. I'm 40 now. I need to quit drinking soda. Quitting weed will make all of that easier to do.
Yeah.
Because, dude,
your discipline goes way up.
You took what, 8 months off back?
6.
6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and it's crazy how you taste it after we come back. Like now when I taste the black, I think I smoked myself into a corner when I quit this time though. Cause me and this fool, you know what I mean? Dog, on the road, we go to LA and back all the time. We blast in the minivan. I hate paying for plane tickets because I'll just drive for 15 hours. I don't give a fuck. Even tonight, I'm going to leave here, drive to Hong Kong's. Go on a bang-a-thon. Then stand in line at the border for 6 hours to come back, get in the car, still make it back here. Yeah, I've weekend at Bernie's it, dog, coming from homecoming. Leaving a Tesla, my knees are driving.
Rolls back in Humboldt.
At least we didn't die.
Everybody hit me up. Buy for a zip.
Yeah, they got a picture. They got a picture of him at the door.
If you see this guy, small penis, warning. Don't charge full price. He's nice. Yeah, we would smoke a lot, dude, on those road trips, and then we sometimes we eat some shrooms on the road because we had a house in Culver City for like 3 years. So it's nice to be like, we're just bored in Humboldt. Let's blast down there. Boom. Get to like Patterson, and them shrooms will start kicking my ass, dog. We'll say shit that's so funny that it's like I have to pull over on the highway because I'm gonna wreck. Like, I'm going to see white and wreck because I'm laughing so hard. And then that'll last like about like 15, 20 minutes. Pull it together, get back on the road. Good like 10 minutes in, just dead again. Like, it's fucked up, bro. It's fucked up. But, yeah, we were doing a lot of back and forth. And we were smoking so much weed on the trips. And then we smoked like 7 packs of loose leaves one day. When I laid down, I was like, geez, that's not cool. Time to take a break. It's actually easier than I thought. It's not hard to quit for like a month.
What worked for you?
I had to quit other things to make it possible. Like I quit coffee like a year ago. Mm-hmm. I don't drink soda. But sometimes I think if you go get like a gnarly sweat, like I'm not a runner. I get my Jane Fonda on that motherfucking elliptical though. You know what I mean? I'm motherfucking
The elliptical.
I'm the dad from Malcolm in the Middle in that motherfucker, dog. I get it. And this fool, we go on there and go ham on that elliptical. But I think get breaking like a crazy sweat where you're like trembling when you leave the gym, like about to shit yourself because you're just exhausted. You feel like you got in a fight. You bust one of those, you might not even want to touch the weed for like 6-7 hours because you're taxed. You probably just go to sleep. And then just hopefully you can get like one of those a day. Just break yourself off enough you don't even want to touch the weed. But
I'm rolling up in the car as soon as I get out there, motherfucker.
It's not necessarily
I'm smoking pulling up, and then I'm smoking leaving it.
Yeah, this fool smokes. It's hard. When I
that helps if he just doesn't hang out with me for a little bit.
We barely hung out in the 90 days ago.
That's what I'm saying. As soon as we got in the car on the way to Zach.
I didn't do it for 90 days. We went on one
road trip. Let me hit that one time.
I'm back, baby. I'm back. I think more than tobacco because when you wake up.
That's honestly the key to it, huh? Dodge all your friends that smoke weed.
You're going to have to avoid some. Same with you quit alcohol. You'll lose some people, and that's fine. They'll come back. Just don't talk to me when you've been drinking.
Or you'll come back to one or the other, right? When it comes to weed, not drinking.
You'll see them. You'll be able to spend time with them on other levels after they realize you don't want to drink with them, They'll alienate you at first for not wanting to take part. But yeah, with the not smoking, after like 10 days, bro, I didn't really wake up and be like, I didn't smoke today. Like, I didn't even notice the difference. All I noticed was there wasn't as much funny shit going through my head. And I was really calm and polite and patient.
More patient for sure. Which is weird.
Without
you think it'd be opposite.
Yeah, me stoned. I'm like, all right, honey, throw the ball to daddy, and it's like, oh, go
I
get
even
that
had
one.
a few people tell me that personally. I was like, what do you notice the most?
I just tell myself.
And someone said, you're way more patient.
Way more chill.
I just tell myself they're probably stoned too.
Right? What you think weed would chill you out? Maybe it doesn't.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm high, so I'm assuming he's high.
I think it's definitely.
I give them they're probably high too, Pat.
Yeah. And I think it's also depends on the person, right? I can't.
It does depend on it.
Yeah, because I go back to I gotta get myself. I get so chill.
Because I know a guy. He's prescribed a Xanax. He takes the Xanax. He it's like he took Adderall.
Really?
If he doesn't take it, he's like barely says a word.
Yeah,
and I'm like, dude, isn't it supposed to be the fucking opposite?
It's the same with Adderall though. With ADHD,
some people are like that. Yeah,
when you're hooked on a certain type of pill, it does that,
different though.
Right?
Yeah, but when you're hooked on Xanax, that's just going to get you pumped. Because let's say someone took a perk, usually they'd be pretty slumped. If I take a perk, I'll stay up for 2 days. And I'll be really productive.
And take more perks.
I don't do that often, but if a certain pill, once you've used it for a while, it gets you yacked out. Mm-hmm. Like, I had another homie, he eats Xanax a lot, bro, and he gets wild on that shit, bro. He doesn't get chill at all.
Yeah.
He gets almost too intense. You know what I mean? He's like, bro, you're going to remember that tomorrow. Don't let that Xanax blackout be real. That's a dude. I just came over here to check on you, dog, but that's a dude in your bed.
Holy shit.
Oh, I took too many bars, I blacked out. Sure, that's what every Xanax head says. I blacked out. Yeah. That was a dude.
It's like, bro, you woke up with everyone's wallet in your fucking pockets.
Fucking scum.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
How the fuck did this happen? What?
You get home cooked meals cooked for you. I see what you post and stuff. How important is that? I mean, that's a lot of people don't have that. You got a dope family behind you.
Once I quit the coffee, I stopped kind of eating food that's like in a package. So I try to I'll eat like, but then again, I got issues with eating, bro. Cause like I fucking like to eat till I puke almost. I hate myself when it comes to eating because I just do it on purpose. I'm like a cutter. Instead of cutting, I'll eat a bunch of desserts and have heartburn for like 2 fucking days and just be miserable, dog. Can't sleep, just burning. Eat 20 times, nothing will happen. I just like to fucking fuck my stomach up. And it's like a weird little way I punish myself. But I don't eat nothing packaged no more. I stay with my girl who she been by my side for a really long time. She's been with me through the whole marriage. Even she was like a good friend of mine. And when I got divorced, I kind of started seeing her. But when I first moved in, she was like, yo, my mom wants to live with us. Like, are you good with that? And I'm like, yeah, like bring her in. You know, she's cool. She helps me with my kids. But I basically made her like my in-house fucking chef. You know what I mean? So it's dope. Like I'm in that shit every day. You see the pictures.
I do. That's why I ask. I'm like,
dinner,
bro.
Like, I come home at like 11:30 and be like, yo, what are we having?
And it's not normal stuff. It's like,
it's amazing. She been known for it before. Like I knew she got down because she would make a birria and you'd see like the whole Mexican community show up at the house. I'm like, oh shit. Like she's the real deal. Like people know, you know what I mean? So I'm like moving her in and fucking, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
You know, my tits are getting bigger by the day. Fuck. Getting those removed soon.
Are you a conspiracy theorist guy? In real life? Like, are there aliens?
Well, damn. Did you permit him to do this?
Fucking guy, huh? Okay. Holy shit. It's a big Joe Rogan fan, bro.
I love the look at him. He was like,
Wait, what's happening now?
I thought we were just about to fucking wrap up. Jesus.
If there is aliens, they come from below, not above. Let's just put it that way. And they're not from another planet. They're from this planet, just a different dimension. And they've somehow used portals or some type of technology to cross in and they can't get back.
See?
Yeah.
All right. And that's as deep as we'll go on that.
I don't like that. I don't even watch fantasy movies, dude.
Holy shit.
But no, like I told you guys before, sometimes posting shit that you like, I mean, whether it's true, whether it's not, but you kind of believe it because it makes sense and there is no coincidences. You post this shit all the time, you're going to lose a lot of people. You're going to lose a lot of endorsements because you're now a person who speaks their mind. And if that's what's happened to me, someone had to fucking do it. So I don't give a fuck. Suck a dick.
But it's true. You polarize. If you didn't have a face to your brand, 80% of the people will fuck with it, 90%, right? But when you put a face to a brand or you put yourself out there,
well, it's either going to help you or hurt you. But you might say something that someone disagrees with, or I might say, hey, you know, not to go, I don't think space is real. And then someone like, yo, this guy's a fucking moron. I'm never buying this weed again. That's fine. But it's just like I explained earlier. You have a buddy who's fucking, you know, some guys, well, some just don't get pussy for long periods of time. But then some, when they like, there's a few of us every now and then that just don't get pussy for a while, right? But then they got these other guys, but there's still these dudes over here lingering.
There's just a few of them,
right? But you got these other guys, they finally get some pussy. And they become infatuated with the woman.
Ooh.
Like a poisonous, like obsession.
They found their vice.
And then she's somewhere getting her shit ducked off, beat up by some young buck with a horse cock that plays on the old local JC basketball team.
On the side of the road.
Yeah.
You think she got a flat the whole time.
You got to tell him.
He breaking her back.
Hey, guy, seen your wife on the side of the highway, thought she had a flat. When I pulled over, she was getting rotor rooted by some fucking snake dog.
Snake dog.
So, my boy, I want you to know, because I can't unsee that. I'm sorry, bro. Just wanted you to know. In case she tells you, I didn't want to be the person who didn't tell you, you know? Or in case this horse cockfucker shows up here, beats the shit out of you, takes your whole family from you, assumes your identity, and they have you kicked off the land, you know exactly why, because I witnessed this, okay? And then this is what he'll do. He'll wait till she gets home, confront her. You fucking bitch, you're cheating. Da, 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 da. He told me. Act like it's my fault that he knows. So I'm the wrong, right? Because he's so obsessed. Whether he caught her or not, he still plans on working. No, you're not actually leaving. Get out. No, don't leave. I'll call the cops if you leave. Get out. That type of bitch. A pussy motherfucker, right? When he finally makes up with her, they'll both hate you because you just tried to let him know what was going on because you genuinely cared about the situation, which is okay. That's just how it is. That's the best way I can explain shit that you fucking hear and want to believe or think is true online, or express opinions of things that make sense.
So what do? Do you tell the guy or not?
I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's me railing her. So, yeah.
Just make a skit about it.
So that was my wife that happened to, and I hate you, Roy. You should have never told me. Channeling personal events. Yeah, if you're my homie, and you're like obsessed, like if you're just banging her and you really don't give a shit, she's like a girl you party with, I probably just keep it to myself. But if you're like shopping for rings, about to go put a car in her name, little house on the prairie and shit, I might just do it just to see you a little crushed. Because it's kind of funny when a sucker gets their heart broke. Because you can either build from it or break from it, buddy.
It's one or the other.
This might be the best day of your life. This could be the worst.
But I'm here for it, buddy.
That's the worst kind of friend.
We're not friends. Friends don't get cheated on. When a loser, you're just a homie I fuck with. You know what I mean? Like, my homies' wives are, they get banged and I catch them, I just drive by. I don't try to pull over to help them with the tire. They're cunts.
You ever had people get mad about skit you've done?
Yeah. Like there was a political one. I did like just a joke about the elites or whatever with Joe Biden where I was clowning him. It was kind of during the election. And it hit for like 4.2 million views in the first like 5 hours with 33,000 comments. And those comment sections were either an attack or some type of two people arguing with each other. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. So I remember in the beginning, I used to get DMs from people that think I don't know them because we live in a small place. Some of them were like, you're never going to make it, dude. Just give up. Cringe. Like 8 in the morning. Like, damn, bro. Like, you up at 8 in the morning? Cringe about me? What the fuck is for cringe? Is you DMing me at 8 in the morning, you bag? Like, that's weird, bro. Like, when I first started doing Instagram, I'd only follow chicks. I don't give a fuck what a bunch of dudes are doing. You know what I mean? But I would get weird, like, DMs of like, it'll never make it, dude. Just quit. Or that one wasn't even funny, man. You need to try harder. You know what I mean? I get like a lot of that shit in the beginning, and then I kind of just, maybe the algorithm saw that I wasn't reacting to it, so they just kind of phased it out. But you'll
never make it, dude. It's just crazy.
Just straight to the point. Just that hurts.
You wake up like, what's going on today?
Yeah, I'm thinking 20 people care about what I'm doing. It's like fucking 13 DMs of me. You're a loser piece of shit. Wipe out, scum. So, but that happens maybe in the beginning, maybe in the end. Who gives a shit though? Yeah. I mean, if you're DMing me about how you feel about something I made, all you have to do is just unfollow and stop looking because I'm not going to stop. You know what I mean? Like, but like I've had like I reconnected with this chick and we were hanging out. We used to date when we were younger and shit. But she hit me up one day and was like, yo, that fucking skit you posted, like where like I told you I had to have my fucking stepdad hold the panties over my head, that one. She's like, some of my coworkers like saw that. I'm like, oh, nice. Which ones? I'll have to see if they liked it or commented. And she's like, that's like not cool. Like you're kind of like known as my dude. You like pick me up on my lunch breaks. Like, I'm like, oh, well, fuck. It's already up there. I don't know what you want me to do. She's like, take it down. Take it down. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. Don't ever talk to me again. You know what I mean? So you get people mad about it. You get people it's rough on the wife, dog.
Yeah, I bet.
It's rough.
Yeah, you guys have some out there
shit.
skits.
We do some fuck shit.
Yeah.
Like in that first movie we made when he fights Fernando as Todd, that's him and his real life son fighting his gay lovers on camera in their family home where we had to blur out the pictures of the kids on the wall. She was pretty pissed.
Oh yeah.
So follow me. I don't think she still don't follow me.
Yeah, that one was broke the camel's back. So
that was your idea?
It just kind of came to us, yeah. It shit just comes. When your kids call you Connie sometimes and shit, you know what I mean? Like I have female characters, dog. Like, I blame that on my boy Rick too from OCK. At the very beginning, he's like, "You gotta do a chick. All famous dudes do a chick. You're never gonna make it if you don't do a chick." And I'm like, "What am I supposed to do?" He's like, "Be your mom." I was like, "Fine."
All famous dudes do a chick.
It was that easy.
That's great.
Yeah, right.
That's great.
It took him like 3 years to talk me into playing Todd, and I was like, "Nah."
I was like,
I'm cool.
You're either a gay fucking trapper from Atlanta or you're a chick. Pick one.
Gay trapper.
But he still has a wife and kids back in Atlanta, so it's not totally.
Those are the two options.
That's in the story.
Right?
People get upset about it. People, the political ones, for sure, bro, like kind of nuts.
Oh, yeah. You can call misogynistic and all kinds of shit. I don't even know what that. I had to Google it. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah. Yeah, it is crazy. Those strike a nerve.
Yeah, we threw a huge fucking event with RJ, Mr. LA performed shit, threw a big ass party. Let all the chicks and all the single moms, everyone come in for free. You don't even got to pay. And then there's a couple online. They're misogynistic. It's like, just threw a fucking party for you bitches. Just to connect with a real man outside of Tinder. You know what I mean? Like, this is a public setting. You're looking nice. Get off Facebook, bitch. Taylor's been featured on that one, the dating one where the chicks go talk about the dudes they met on dating sites. Taylor's been featured on there 3 times. He's like really proud of that. It's kind of tight. He kind of goes for it like once every 6 months. Like, I got to get to that page. So he'll go on a date and just do some fuck shit.
Wow.
Which he'll say is on purpose, but you never know.
What do you mean?
It's like a stupid site. This is, are we dating the same?
Yeah, so like if the dude's on a dating site, chicks will go on there and post them and be like, "Hey, is anyone fucking this dude before I go on a date with him?" And then chicks will go on there. "Did you see the shit this dude just messaged me? Holy shit." It's him like a 7-long added out message of like how being seen in public is inappropriate without proper vetting. And I'd like to just meet you in a discreet place. It's basically just like, "Hey, do you want to meet up and suck my dick? Or do I just have to explain it in a 7-page biography?" You know what I mean? He can't just say, "Feel like sucking some dick?" ? He goes into like, dude, like 11-day talking to himself in their email type explanations of why she should meet up with him and suck his dick. So he goes on that page every now and then.
I'm lost.
He's a single guy. He dates. So he's on the sites. Yeah.
Wrap it up in a big bow. That's what's up.
He's on the sites, bro. He's still in the web.
He's known on the sites, man.
Bro.
How do we not know about the sites?
It's an acquired taste. Just haven't got there yet. Listen. If I pull up some AI shit and do an advanced search, I'm pretty sure we're going to see old Lance Dog on the sites. Sean Christian Bengals. 20 fish and chips.
This guy, if I pull up an AI, he's on some other shit.
If I get a decent we do a detailed search, I'm gonna find some profile pictures and some thumbs up, thumbs down. For sure.
Oh.
A bunch of reviews from strip clubs. This dude came in and stalked me for 8 months after restraining order receipts all over Orange County.
Orange County.
He's driving south an hour to do it in Newport. Out there.
He throws silver dollars in there. He's throwing a silver dollar in the strip club. They coming out with helmets on and shit. He's throwing silver dollars, chasing them around. Silver dollar in the house, y'all.
Jesus. But yeah, so single guys, they go on the sites. Cannabis people, dude, 90s, 2000s and shit. Fucking what? Wife would stay home with the kids. You'd go up to the hill for 4 months. You'd be back in town. You just wouldn't tell her. She'd just always think you were up there. Right. You know what I mean? You'd be out every Friday, Saturday night, dog.
You'd be back in town.
You'd have like
go to the hill for 3 months. Be back.
You're making, $300-400 a year, sitting on the couch, basically running for a season. The weed's going for 28 to 31 for depth still at this point that passed. It's just like, it was like really just a lifestyle that it's pretty much a blessing that we got to live. Like the shit was a vibe. I had one of every truck in diesel, bro. You know what I mean? Like at the same time, that's really was my downfall on one of my prison sentences is the dealership. But like, two of my bitches are both in Escalades on 8s. This is, at 25 years old, having the way with the world though, dude. I go to my buddy's house. He's got like 24 chicks from Costa Rica there. This is back when men and women could be attracted to each other and it was like normal to like party with hot chicks. The chicks wanted to party. It wasn't all this weird.
You could talk about it.
This fucking SpaceX shit they got going now. I don't know what's going on, but back then chicks were hot and they knew it. They wanted to be hot. And like, so you'd like go to my boy's house. I got 24 Costa Ricans visiting in the country just to trim for him. And like, so we're partying every single night. These chicks are 10s. You know what I'm saying? I might bring a couple of my chicks over now. I might ride in the town, 5 chicks deep. I'm, popping Norco, smoke a blow. I'm 239, buff, gacked on steroids. hair blowing in my motherfucking wind. Jersey shored out. I'm a couple hundred bands up every year. I got a couple properties. I'm doing my shit, dog. A couple big bullies in the back and shit. Just like fucking every day, just living the life on the beach, partying, backing the truck up to the sand every fucking day, dog, like a TV show. You know what I'm saying? And then that shit just started getting weird. But after like the 215 days, you got to figure too, this was like an epic time for me because I got 4 or 5 bitches that all get money at this time. And this is not like a secret, bro. You know what I mean? Like they tried to prosecute me for pimping and shit. Like I had 4 or 5 bitches getting money. This is like normal shit. I'm from the 707 area code, dog. This is like real tycoons. People, you might be doing scams this week and make 100 bands. You back selling keys the next week. You're pimping 4 chicks. You got your baby's mama driving shit to Vegas for you. Like this is the 707 area code, this is known for tycoonish balling at a different level. This is like the real max, the people we looked up to and that we got gamed up by were like lords of the streets, like for real sophisticated made type dudes. You know what I mean? From Oakland, Black Fools. So like during the 215 days, there was so much money happening with the 99 plant type shit. And it was very unregulated for like 5 to 6 years. It was going crazy, bro. And to have all these chicks on my team, I'm doing numbers, bro. Like, I'm getting chicks. I had one of my bras, she had this grower just go buy her a brand new Dodge. You know what I'm saying? I got that shit from her same day. I had a motherfucker who used to meet her in the parking lot of Costco. Just because he had a crush on her, he would meet her like every Friday when he got supplies and give her like $3,500. So this is the type of money that's floating around. This shit's like Medellin to a certain point. It's the greatest place on earth to us, you know what I mean? But now, straight graveyard, bro. Holy shit.
It's changed that much.
It's a great
full 180.
Yeah, Flint, Michigan, bro.
In 6 years.
Yeah.
Like it's toasted. It's totally toasted. There's a couple solid people holding it down. You guys know Turk Mansion. Mm-hmm. Definitely Cody from Exotic Flavors, bro, is holding it the fuck down, like expanding rapidly on some real shit. And he's not like, Luke is kind of a transplant from somewhere else. He went to college. He's very business-minded, well-oriented human being, very intelligent dude. He's not the typical Humboldt Hill dude who really don't know nothing but this shit. You know what I'm saying? He knows about the outside world and about how money works and, and Cody's kind of from the hills, but it's refreshing to see he's one of us and he's very business savvy and very well orientated to how things work and how to really make something build and thrive. So it's cool to see one of us who's actually from that, who's not just being another dude who just grows and doesn't know the ins and outs of what's happening or is kind of being left in the dark. This feels like pioneering the shit and kind of showing people this is how it's done, So they're holding it down. Ridgeline's holding it down.
Shout out to all you guys. Shout out to Exotic Flavors, the Emerald Kid, aka Turp Mansion. Yep. I mean, Ridgeline Farms.
Have Hash. That's another. They're holding it down. They're producing some crazy shit.
Who else up there?
Yep, Humboldt Seed Company. They're live. They're everywhere.
All the
there's some
OGs,
people. There's some people holding it down, but you got to figure there was like, dude, the 215 days. There was no one branding.
Farm.
Yeah, Honeydew Farms for sure. Humboldt 36, Jesse.
I watch Alpenglow a lot,
but like, there wasn't this like fucking hold back on anything for a while. Like money was just being dumped in. And then the 215 days, no one wanted a brand. People were just selling straight packs. They wanted to pass these motherfuckers to a broker and get the money. Because a lot of that was hard money loan type shit, borrowed from family to go to Humboldt, make it happen, like the gold rush. So everyone took some money. We got to go up here. Now we can't focus on branding or anything because there's really nowhere to send that. We have to wholesale this shit to Eureka, to Oakland, to Richmond, to Vallejo. Those were a lot of the spots. San Francisco, that was like the other hubs outside of people selling it at home. but it wasn't this branding or building something that Big Pharma will buy from you or something that you're going to want to invest in. They never thought in terms of, I want another investor on top of the money I just borrowed to buy this or anything like that. They thought, pay this person back, pay this shit off and get another one. It was never like a fucking, I'm going to build something to give to someone else or let someone else control. That was never the way. That people just had dough, you know? And you've seen a lot of crazy genetics just like come evolve through the game over the years, you know, like your granddaddies, your OGs, even, I mean, your cookies, bro.
What were the biggest money maker?
Granddaddy in the beginning, because the way like Be Legit and those fools had that rocking and like the vibe they put out in the air about the Granddaddy and like the way they represented it, it was catching on hella heavy in Atlanta. So that was like, you know, maybe the days Atlanta was really rolling as well. So the Granddaddy was killing it out there. But cookies was another iconic thing too, though. Like fools made bread off that shit.
I love a good cookie.
You're doing Dep cookies. They don't do the best outdoors, but fools were doing like Dep cookies and winning.
That's hardcore too, because for such a low yielder and then to risk a Dep run on it.
Still killing because they go for more. And then, you know, in the indoor, that shit was a powerful phenomenon when it came. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to too many new things that people are dropping anymore because I don't really live near a big location of something. You know, I don't really go in the dispensary no more, but having new genetics right now is crazy. That's like, I think the breeders are in a position to really, if they like charged money instead of saying, let me give you some genetics and when it works out, pay me later. If they're like, none of this shit leaves without $5,000. You know, if they started to really
the good
put
ones are doing that.
Yeah, they're charging more.
Right. It's that whole thing of too, like when you have to pay your bills, you're like, yeah, this pound will just go for 1,000. Right. It's like once they're built up enough to be like, hold on. Okay. Yeah. This is a $15,000 strain or this is a $10,000. You're seeing it now.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought the highest price genetic I've ever bought we bought a $10,000 cut.
Really? How'd it turn out?
Oh, it's one of my favorite things I've ever come in contact with.
So
but that's why we paid for it. Oh yeah. There's zero regret of paying that. I like looking back, like, I mean, when he wanted more and I was like, hey man, it's me. Like, that sounds awesome for fucking
somebody else.
For
Pfizer.
Why am I getting hit for the 10?
Yeah. But I think there's something really special about Skittles crosses. And this was a ZBX2 number 23. And it was real interesting. And there's so much interesting stuff out there that, genetics, it comes up in almost every conversation him and I are having these days is like, no matter what position you are in this business, whether you're in sales, distro, hash making, growing, I mean, no matter genetics.
Yeah. So what's next?
Some of that Skittles shit is like eternal now too. Like it's not going down. It's going to stay where it is and it's not going down. You know, if you're growing it right, you're going to get your issue, which is pretty dope.
It's like rumbling now more than ever.
I agree with that.
There's some good breeders out there that are very unestablished online and that are building organic waves, you know, some big groups in Spain recently. And they're just, I guess, hash people, which are pretty, you know, no offense, guys, you guys are a pretty weird group of individuals. Like I smoke hash too. I'm a nerd. I know the vibes. Let's be real. But, you know,
in the butane days, they're all fucked up.
Human beings that are in the hash community. Testosterone's not flowing like a fine wine. But there is some great breeders that just don't have the balls to say, yeah, I've never done this before. This is my shot, but I still want to get paid. I don't give a fuck if you have a fucking spot or not. Like, I did this work. You know it's good. I want to get paid. I'm not just going to do this just to say I fucking did this, you know? Because if there is some good breeders that probably not monetizing or making real money, they just don't, you know? But third gen, this is a different level of genetic sales and like reproduction control. This is crazy.
And then flip it to Dio. Had probably two of the biggest strains in the last couple of years with Zope, right? And RS11, and has sold 0 seeds ever.
Really?
He's like, why would I do that?
Of their particular version of it?
Oh, no, of any seeds. He's literally a breeder. That's his claim to fame is Dio. I mean, and he's like, I don't sell seeds at all.
Huh.
It's interesting to see.
That's smart though. If you got some shit,
still it's in house.
It's everywhere.
Well, it's crazy too though, because some of the most popular shit, like if you look at the really popular shit nowadays, which is it's trying to trendy and shit, but like no one's ever coming through with money to spend, coming through the distro or the trap, at least where we're at, and saying like, give me some Zopes. to be honest with you, they want runts or LCG.
Right?
This is the shit
That's
they
the
ask
business.
for. Now,
Business
if
is
you have
nice.
other flavors, you can kind of convince them to take some twos and fews of shit that's just different, but they're not coming in demanding the most popular things, which maybe the most popular things are for the real smoker and not like the flipper, you know? But then again, a lot of guys make a lot of money off the shit too. So who knows? Maybe it's our crowd. But I notice in our particular group of people that fuck with us, it's mostly like they just want runts and LCG.
Yep.
That's would you say that's the majority of the market?
That's rec market too.
What about to the guys that say like, can't we
Crazy
get
to
anything
say.
else? And they come down on
You put some
brands
Skittles
putting
in the
that
rec
out.
market, you're gonna be hating it. You're gonna be tripping.
Which is
It's
crazy.
a problem.
Yeah.
They don't.
That's crazy.
It is.
Because everybody wants it.
It's the same with OG though.
And as you say,
I mean, there's OG out there. People are like, bring OG back. You're like, no, there's Kushco and there's a few brands that
OGs
put,
right now. No one's
gonna mind
There's,
like
there's a
especially
lot
not
of
like
great shit
before.
out there. Like I'm a fan of the Zoe.
Yeah.
But I just noticed right now, this is just the two things that people are demanding. And so
and it's
I
the
guess
same
it's-
thing essentially.
It's
Let's
proper
be
to give
real.
them their respect because whatever they're doing, this is what they demand when they come in with the bag. You know what I mean? These two particular things. So they did it right. I think that's probably like what Granddaddy Skywalker OG, cookies, and then probably runts.
Yeah.
No, gelato.
Yeah.
Gelato is like eternal. Then
Yeah.
probably runts is
Yep.
probably like the big, you know,
Skittles.
the boomers. Yeah, Skittles. But Skittles, I feel like hasn't even got to where it's really going yet. It's
now they're
still
crossing the shit out.
it's
I keep
still
seeing a lot of
like
crosses.
on the way. Skittles like one of those ones mix it with candy. It's like endless possibility type
Skittles,
shit.
Right.
Skittles to me is the real candy.
Yes, our Skittles crosses with anything
know.
candy.
Right.
Well, that's what it's going to
hasn't
take.
I've seen a
seen
lot
its full
now.
potential yet.
Like,
That
a
shit's
lot.
going up.
They're crossing
Like,
everything with it. Somebody's throwing everything at it.
They're crossing it, but man,
Find
I
it.
like it just straight.
Well, because you
It's
can't,
like Coca-Cola.
it's not a production
You
strain.
know, it's like
That
Yeah.
one,
vanilla Coke and cherry Coke, and this has like, let me just get a regular Coke
You won't see that.
consistently.
You won't see that.
But
With
with the Z, you see.
Offshoots and crosses because no one wants to grow the.
Well, you see it from a few brands, and like
I've
you
seen
said,
that.
they get their
Yeah,
tickets.
it's hard to
But it's
cross
rare
even.
because what you're going to see is 1,000 crosses
Right.
of it, and then where like LCG though, and let's just say like runts, the originals is what like made its claim to fame, just like Z. But you're not going to see a lot of. I mean, hands down, 20 plus years in cultivation, I can 100% say most finicky, hardest to grow plant I've ever touched. Even in friends' gardens that I wasn't able to get a cut of special shit, you know, that was it's hands down the hardest thing to ever grow. I mean, it really takes time, dedication, figuring her out, and not 3 runs. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to spend time on her. So that's what I'm saying. is-
Skittles, you're talking about.
Skittles specifically. Where like LCG, by the second run, that thing's purple,
Got it down,
frosted out. You're hitting decent numbers. Z,
So that's why you still get the ticket
Yeah.
It's up there
because of
It's
it.
up there. I mean,
But
for
that's
the,
a super connoisseur community at that point,
Yeah.
and that
the people who want that.
motion is drastically going down. I would say by the week, almost like
Really?
monthly. Like
do you think because of sprayed weed?
no, I just think bad economy. People tightening budgets. First thing to go is like, just give me the $100 ounce shit.
Yeah, as I say, the first thing to go isn't the weed though. They're still smoking weed, but like you said, they're not buying the shit.
Standard, their standard of the weed.
Rainbow City has a crazy cross one though. It's like Z Rainbow with headband. Shit's pretty nice. It's like one of my favorite ones, like of the crosses so far.
Yeah, that shit has pretty much endless capabilities.
Right.
Oh, the new stuff's gonna be cool. Yeah, and now
wild.
I mean, and now you're going to take all the old stuff and bring it back with the new stuff, and like it's going to be interesting where this goes from here. It just kills me because I hear stuff like this almost all over the whole country. It's like the new states that come online, boom, but then every state, once it kind of hits its even pitch, you start hearing stuff like this, like, yeah, it's not doing so well.
graveyard.
Prices are going down, and
How fast
then
can
now Michigan's booming like
Right.
Oklahoma,
Right.
to where you're hearing shit like that, and it's like, holy fuck.
I saw some good weed out there. We went out to Detroit. We saw some good weed. There was also just some regular
Yeah.
$800-$900 indoor shit, you know, and that's just gonna just get sent out everywhere and infest the nation, which is gonna get harder and harder. We'll probably be all right, but you know, it doesn't help. Like even just New Mexico, every little spot
Right.
that pops up is a dent out of our economy. Is someone else taking a piece of that little pie.
What do you think federal legalization will do? Is it going to be a help for us, for small farmers or small business guys, or is it going to?
No, it's gonna be it's gonna be like dictation of new ruling that's going to basically feature them employing and licensing mega farms to supply pharmaceutical cannabis that's only purchased with a prescription. So you'll be waiting in line at CVS to get your weed instead of at the dispensary. And these mega farms, you know, they'll erase my account if I say their names, but I'm pretty sure everyone knows who they are. Okay, these Gavin Newsom owned and controlled mega farms. They already knew that this was coming and had made that deal years ago. That's why they were harvesting massive amounts of product, selling it at a loss to drive the price into the ground to eliminate the competition, because they knew they could take years and years in the red because they'd already had this pending agreement for when this is passed. You know what I'm saying? So I think if that happens, shit could get weird. Look at Thailand reverse some shit now. There's other places that are, you know, kind of rolling. Oklahoma's rolling a lot of their shit backwards now. And being like, no, we catch you some shit, you're going to jail for like years. So everything was given. It all came out there. All the money went out there. And then the second that growth went like this for a second, back everything up. Now they're already going broke. So they've already came out here. They bought. We've got all the taxing, everything we could back to our community. We're watching the graph. It went like this, like this, like this. Cut it off. Change the rules back. Get these motherfuckers to start bailing out of jail now so we can get some money out of them that way. Hit a couple of these shops that are like a day behind on a payment or something. You know, but the money's not going to stop. They're just the ways that they get it are going to change. Right. So I think they could do that. It's possible they would like do this shit at a national level and then undo it as a way to destroy.
I mean, it definitely gets interesting. Jungle Boys went through some shit where they literally had like the state of California tax board or something come in and basically empty the cash registers. And it's like, you think they're going anywhere? Like they're you could easily get in touch with the, you know, it's interesting.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an interesting industry where it's still the Wild West, even though you think it's regulated. It's like, yeah, it's regulated in the way they want, but it's crazy.
I mean, maybe at some point they're seeing though that the cash grab part of it for them was the taxing and all this extra revenue that the state got that miraculously disappeared. The fees, the fucking permits pulled to make greenhouses, all that shit's money coming in. So they're like this, bam, legalization. But now all of a sudden, the economy's bad, the weed's bad. Now this shit's happening. Now we're going to start going in places, taking money out of registers, doing inspections, catching people doing shit that they shouldn't be doing because at the very least we want them to bail out of jail and pay us that way.
Level off the profits.
Yeah.
So keep it going.
Maybe they just watch the graph and then kind of, which is scary as fuck. Because you want to see motherfuckers who have already put all their into this. A lot of people like went broke getting legal. You want to see them kind of win.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like their weed or like them, you want to see them win a little bit. But yeah, I think it's going to start rolling backwards. I'm not very hopeful for it. I mean, I hate to see, I don't want to be all negative and shit, but if that shit, there's a plan for why they did. Why wouldn't they have done it till now? Come on. Like, and when alcohol came, that wasn't like a smooth transition. There was like shit happening in the streets and shit. People were going to prison and getting indicted and getting killed over it, even when it was legal still. So who knows? I mean, I think that with cannabis, especially though, one bad thing happens in the news, like, you know, not like a small thing, like that dude killed a bunch of people on the farm in Oklahoma. That one thing was enough to like start the media war on cannabis and how it's not a good idea. But people get drunk, drive and kill someone every fucking weekend. And they're not going to do no media war and demonize alcohol the way they do cannabis. It's fucking weird.
It becomes the person's problem. This guy was drinking and driving, so it's him. It's not the yes.
Alcohol plays no part in none of this.
Where flip it to cannabis, it's the weed got a control of him.
This business is dirty. You know what I mean? It's that's bizarre. So we live in a world that thinks that.
You know what? You referenced someone earlier, and we'll touch on it because it got a lot of attention, but we interviewed Glass House.
Yeah.
And one of the things he literally sat down and said is, you know who's united? Big tobacco, big alcohol, big pharma. And he's like, you know what they're united against? Cannabis. He goes, so they're on the same page. He's like, everyone in cannabis is not on the same page.
Yeah.
Or interfighting a ton. And he's like, they are not. They're very well established and they know exactly how to control this and figure out how they're going to profit off of this.
Right. Yes.
And it's like that shit when he's telling, and the way he said it, and I was like, damn, he has definitely had these meetings before and been in these conversations. This is something that is well versed.
How did they gain that control? By
lobbyists
completely destroying the middleman,
yes.
eliminating, taking the straws out of the hat to leave a couple, special groups that got to survive in a massive way. And yeah, now they're controlled it. But that control is only gained by literally destroying everybody involved.
Look at Florida. You had to be a farm for 20 something, 30 something years who grew other shrubs. And now they'll allow you to grow cannabis. And anyone who's ever been in cannabis is like, that's like saying you grow fruit, you know what I'm saying? So now you could get into any part of the business. It's real interesting how corrupt it's been.
The environment wise, is it going to grow good outdoors out there?
Florida, they're mainly
greenhouse
indoor.
Yeah,
I think they've been doing indoor since the 80s too, though. That's always been a fucking big hub.
Yeah, I think the standard is going to be, definitely indoor, and then greenhouse, light assist. I would say. I don't think we've gotten there yet. Indoor. I think a high hybrid of light assist with cooling. I don't know if it'll be, but but you need that. You need that cost at $200 a pound. 150, 300, right? And the only way to get there as a cost as a cultivator is to have light assist. My mentor's like, give it 20 years, most indoor will be dead, and most actual production in the whole industry will be some type of hybridization between light assist and indoor, where you'll have the cooling of maybe an indoor facility, but you'll have glass or some, and it'll be, and then you see Preferred Gardens Dave basically doing that right now. Solar panels,
crazy.
That's another fool that does it big though. He's an innovator of the game.
He is.
Yeah.
He originates the shit he does. You know what I'm saying? He's setting the tone for his lane.
Yeah.
And where he's at, there's not as many people doing it as him, and he's doing it in a way that's like, big money would want to sit back and observe. Like, this fool's got it down. You know what I mean?
And he's bringing people with him, which I like to see.
100%.
Just like you said, representing Humboldt, people that represent certain, but like he's representing the culture.
It's just certain people, they bossing up in this shit, and they're not going to be stopped. So you got to kind of kick back and kind of observe, how did their business get to this point? Good quality product at a good price, not trying to fuck people over. Because a lot of the early putting depths in bags and selling as indoor, those people are nowhere near, a couple big people made it doing that, but they're nowhere near the game no more. They're completely done belly up. So it's like, who gives a fuck? I would like to bypass social media to kind of get away from the normal cannabis community, because they say it's a community, but like, there's a lot of people that I wouldn't want to be in a community with, in that community, that probably wouldn't want to hang out with me either. Like, I'm not going to fucking hang out with dudes who are shaped like mothers of six, sitting down in their fucking quilted made organic jumpsuit with rainbow hats on, playing a bongo for fucking some High Times voice recorder. Okay.
Those guys.
Like, I kick it with like a lot of dads whose kids play sports and shit, like to get wrapped, and fucking, motherfuckers who like to go do shit, maybe pump a little iron, maybe go to Hong Kong's tonight, Lance.
But yeah, you down for that because he's the engineer, been pumping the water.
Just worry about yourself over there, buddy. Just worry about yourself.
Hell yeah.
Well, there's just like this, it's a big different group of type of people, but when they say the cannabis community, the people who are always like, that's not community. It's like, you're not for the culture. I'm nothing like you. I don't interact with you at all in real life.
The one thing we have in common is we both like weed. Other than that, you can be very different people.
Your community's totally different than mine. You know what I mean? You're over here like doing sparkle paintings with Willow in the fucking wood shack on Smoke 420 celebrations and shit. And I'm like, I'm with some dudes from Atlanta getting bags, like smoking blunt after blunt bullshit. And like, we're two totally different communities.
Yeah, it'd be like saying the lady who drinks Zinfandel is the same as the guy who at 5 o'clock after doing construction's popping a beer. It's like, because they drink alcohol. It's like two completely different lives.
So the thing about being a part of the community, I would like to create something. If there's anyone out there with lots of money, I have a couple of scripts written. I want to make some movies that go up on like a streaming thing that is cannabis, but it's enough other parts to it to get people sparked, and so we can brag some new fucking people into the community. Maybe some people that are like, hey, I'm a big time drinker, but I'm thinking more about weed lately. I'm gonna try this shit, get ripped. Or a motherfucker who's like, yo, I've been shoving some boxes up my ass just so I don't overdose every day. I might start smoking weed because of this movie or this piece of content, is interesting enough to me. I want to know more. Or an old person who's like been getting ripped off at the corner store for $75 CBDs that aren't even real, might want to actually hit some THC because of this piece of content that we make. But I want to make a streaming network movie that's not necessarily just us. I want to bring in some young people, some good actors, actresses, make a good movie that we put up on a streaming network that kind of invites the same old crowd, the people who take an interest, the enthusiasts, but has enough in it to like kind of bring in some people into our world, which is kind of cool. Because that not smoking for 90 days, I realized like without this weed, I'm just a fucking geek piece of shit with no life, and not interesting at all. Completely just stay.
I don't believe that. We spent a half a day with you. I don't believe that.
Yeah,
you're a lot to deal with. I can tell that.
Believe that shit.
But I wanted to come down here and fuck with you guys, do the podcast because I've encountered you on an organic level many times. I bumped into you, came up behind you in New York.
Yep.
That was on the dance floor, y'all. That wasn't just in the streets. That was actually on the dance floor, and things happened. This guy's hips don't lie. I came up behind you in New York. Blah salsa party with the dude yelling on a speaker.
It was a Dominican Day parade. I was out there.
We were parading. Damn, his hips don't lie, man. On that podcast. But no, I bumped into you guys organically. I want to come by, do this shit, and come smoke some tree with y'all and congratulate you for your success. And I'm probably, let's just plan on doing it like once a month.
Yeah. I'm with it.
I'm scheduling myself on your shit.
We need to do more skits. We appreciate you coming to help us do some skits. That's a side of content we know we need to do more of, but just haven't known how we should do it or lead way into it. You know what I mean? So,
but we tried,
you guys on that.
And I put a Sean O'Malley wig on, and he filmed.
Let's just say it didn't make the cut.
Whoa. Well, he cuts him off real quick. Yeah, he's like, I had a thong on. There was a kiddie pool, a horsey tail.
It was a baby oil.
I just realized quickly when people see things out of context, they're like, is he wearing a clown wig? And what is he doing? And they didn't get it.
Well, we'll make some more too. And like you've seen us do it today, it's kind of just like a step-by-step type thing. Use the fucking voice memos. I'm looking forward to the edits. My camera guy, he's still over there playing pocket pool. Look at you, dog. You get that 8-ball in the corner pocket yet? Get your hands out of your pockets, bro. Okay? You're not going to find that change. I fell out. He's over there just typing. He's like an etch a sketch. He's drawing a portrait on an etch a sketch for each ball. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the chopped up edited version, see what we got, because you guys both did great. But yeah,
you think Lance has got a shot at the blockbuster movie after today's performance?
He's definitely got. We're going to see how he behaves tonight. Remember, we're taking this guy to Mexico tonight.
Dude, true story.
When we leave here,
you guys are going in the serious dry spell. And taking
I was supposed to be with you in Panama, but it didn't work out.
Taking Biggs to Hong Kong.
Listen,
that's a long flight.
These guys.
I'm bringing you because every time you go on a vacation, you change the destination a week before so no one can go with you. That's what you've been doing to this guy for 2 fucking. Literally, we show up here. He's like, "Hey, so what's up, man? Like, how many more vacations do I get to go somewhere?" He's like, "Dude, only 3 more." Dangling the carrot. But no, let's just try.
You guys know a little bit about fishing.
Now and then. I'm definitely going to stop by every time we're in LA. Come fuck with y'all. Thank you for having me,
bro. It's been a blast. I'm looking forward to it.
I got to go take a shit.
The Black Market Vikings.
CJ Humboldt and Jay Humboldt. Let's go.
You already know what it is, man. First smoke of the day. Make sure you check in for the offer mic on this one. Don't fucking miss it. This has been funny as hell and a pleasure and a lot of fun. Stay tuned for the skits as well. We'll see you guys soon. Appreciate everybody. Peace.
So if you like this video and you want to see more videos just like it, I need you to click right up here and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Yo, First Smoke family, right here.